See if things decide to cooperate.
Did it work?
Did it work? Are we on?
Oh, yeah.
Are we on? Yeah.
You got it? Mm-hmm. Hello?
Hey! There we go. Awesome. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going great.
Good.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Good.
I got some energy in me.
Yeah.
Like most of the time I'm like hungover and strung out.
Yeah.
From my heroin addiction.
You're usually on the show every 4 weeks. I gave you 1 extra week, so to kind of sober up.
Yeah, so I feel pretty good.
That's right. Well, welcome to Talking Heads, episode 81, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
And with a smidgen of entertainment in there.
That's right.
I'm Steve.
That's right.
Yeah.
With just a little bit of entertainment.
Just a little dollop of it on top.
Pop culture, what have you. Whatever the hell I feel like talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everyone. If you're new to the show, as I said, once weekly live show. We try to do this more like a radio broadcast where it's kind of just me and Steve talking about the things that interest us. And we'll take comments from the audience occasionally. And at the end, we usually wrap it up with a nice Q&A. We start out with about 20 minutes of beer news, go to about 40 minutes to an hour of tech news, and then 20 minutes of whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yep, basically.
Try to keep it as family friendly as possible, but as you've probably heard by now, I did say hell twice. That makes 3. We try to keep it family friendly. We usually, if we're going to go blue, it's usually saved for the very, very end.
It's just Talking Heads After Dark.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We should actually move that over to John's channel because he doesn't give a crap.
We all come in bathrobes, like velvet
bathrobes.
That's right. Pipes.
Lila, get over here and feel this. It's real velour.
Real velour.
More champagne. Anyway, welcome to the show. Drop me a line in the chat over there. Let me know what you guys are drinking at home tonight. We got a Founders Mas Agave.
Mas Agave.
Mas Agave, excuse me.
No bueno, okay.
Audio sync. What's wrong with the audio sync tonight? Crap.
Audio is fine, so it might just be one person.
Okay. Audio's fine here.
Yeah.
Good evening from Australia. Hello from Oregon.
You guys say good day.
Cracking a stag in 1 minute. Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. Wow on time. Yeah, it's because Hops and Brews wasn't hosting.
That's right. I'm punctual.
Yeah, I said that because Hops and Brews said wow on time.
Yeah.
Am I late? Did I miss anything? Nope, you are right on time. Ooh, Skull's got a toppling Goliath, King Sue.
Yeah. I think he's got like a shelf.
I think he bought a case of those.
Yeah, he's got like a ton of them.
Skull, you're cheating.
Yeah.
And you darn well know it.
Yeah.
What are we drinking tonight?
Okay.
That's the question I want to get to.
We got Fort George's Chris Knife.
Nice.
I think it's pronounced Chris Knife, Christ Knife, whatever.
Chris Knife,
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But this, if you look this up on Untappd, this is like got a pretty high rating. It's got a 4.2, I think.
Wow.
4.21.
7.2%. Fort George out of Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah, and this is a hazy.
I've been to their brewery a number of times.
Yeah, I've been there too quite a few times. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite
yes.
breweries. I mean, I went to them a couple times and I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But they make one of my favorites, which is Mother of All Storms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, wait, that's Pelican. Sorry. Matrushka.
Oh, Matrushka's good. I like the Vortex. The Vortex
is very good too.
It's really solid.
But they have a bunch of really good solid beers.
And the Kavatka Stout.
And the Kavatka Stout.
Heck yes.
That's one of the better staple stouts that they have out there. Yeah.
We've got a couple others. This one is from viewer Caveman over on the Patreon. He sent this over a little while ago. This beer is no longer available. This is from Horny Goat Brewing in Wisconsin, or formerly from Wisconsin, because apparently we read on Untappd they shut down.
Yeah,
they are no longer open for business. This is the chocolate peanut butter porter. It's a 6.5%, and we'll just give this one a shot. And then this one I actually picked up locally from John's Marketplace here in Portland. Mm-hmm. This is Nogne. I know I'm butchering that, and boy, Claw is going to make so much fun of me. This is a 9% Imperial Stout from Grimstad, Norway.
Now Claw, one of the viewers, did send us a bunch of Norwegian beers.
Yes.
But they were all 4.7%.
Yes.
Because the laws over there say if you make anything bigger than that, you have to sell it, especially to store, and then it gets highly taxed. But this is an export.
Yep.
So we got it for, what was it?
$9.
$8.50.
$8.50. so Claw, I can get Norwegian beer that's higher than 4.7%.
Yeah. And cheaper.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would have been a $20 bottle over there.
Yeah,
Pretty easy.
Something like that.
So, what do you want to start with?
I am really excited to try
The IPA?
this stuff. Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I really want to try that. And it's also, what did we say the ABV was on this? It was
7.2.
7.2, so it's pretty decent. Not quite a double,
Right.
but approaching that level.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
I love it when you bring me my own pint.
Yes. That's not, I kind of dig these 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
Because you get a proper pint. Whereas when you get a 22 bomber,
Yeah.
you kind of get 2 3/4. You get
Yeah, I got to split it with him, or
yeah.
I got to pour and then re-pour later on if I'm drinking it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I get the alcoholic comments in my videos because I'll pour myself a full pint and then there's a half pint left.
Ooh, it smells. I can smell this right now.
A little guava, a little passion fruit.
Yeah, this thing smells phenomenal, like a citrus salad.
Yeah.
That does smell great. All right, let's give it a try.
Nice pour, boys. Mine was just a little heavier on the head than I wanted, but yeah.
Oh, that is very tasty.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of an acid burn after a couple of sips. I don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, sweet, juicy, citrusy,
Nice.
smooth. Very good.
Yeah, Steve and I were talking about this before the show, how I really enjoy hazy IPAs for about the first 4 ounces. After that, they're too acidic, acidic for me.
The alpha acid, there's a lot of alpha acid.
It bites you, and all I can taste after that point is the acid in there and the burn,
yeah.
and it actually hurts my tongue and it hurts the back of my throat. So I'm hoping this one's a little smoother.
It seems pretty smooth, but I just had one sip, so.
Very pleasant.
Yeah.
Definitely has a little bit of a burn to it.
Yeah.
Little bit of acid.
A little bit of an acid burn.
So we'll see how this one gets along.
Right.
Oh, that flavor is amazing.
But that flavor is just stellar. It definitely has that citrusy, juicy flavor.
Yes.
That you really want to find in a hazy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I know.
I see why this gets a 4.2 on
Yes.
on
Yeah, this
Untapped.
definitely deserves a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I'm gonna give it that 4.25 kind of rating. That
if it starts getting
that
too
may
much of a
drop
burn,
if it starts biting me. But that's really good.
Oh wait, someone says the Imperial Stout costs about $9 in Norway. So
Nice.
I guess we're not pulling one over on them. Dang it.
Well,
I thought we had something.
cheers over there in Norway.
Oh.
I seem to have a lot of Nordic viewers. A lot
must
of
like
Nordic
you for
viewers.
some reason.
Yeah.
You must have some Viking blood in you or something.
The name is Norwegian.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was talking to Claw. At one point, he lived 45 minutes from my family over in Norway.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
So yeah, that was kind of funny to find out.
You got some familiar.
Yeah. I've never been, but my dad has been back to Norway, and he's met the family over there and whatnot. I have a great aunt who lives over there, and all of her kids and things like that. So, yeah. Yeah, $9 for the 9%. Awesome. That's good to know. We'll let you know if it's any good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's...
Oh, yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, what?
Where's the...
Oh, yeah, hit down button.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I gotta go.
And then first article.
Yeah.
And then we'll full screen it.
Whopping.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. Literally immediately after we got off the air last week, there was some pretty big news in craft beer. A pretty large merger went down. Now, we talked a couple of weeks ago about... what was the Eugene one?
Oh, not Ninkasi, but...
No, it was in Ninkasi.
Was it Ninkasi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Oakshire was in talks, but no, it was Ninkasi.
Okay.
That sold.
Oh, they went to that conglomerate.
Yeah, so there was a craft beer conglomerate that's trying to be formed, and Ninkasi joined them for about $300 million. Yeah. And more power to you, man.
Yeah.
Well, this one is likely to be around that same scale, because remember, Ninkasi was around the number 18 brewer in the U.S.
There. Yeah.
They're a large brewer in the United States. Sam Adams just merged with Dogfish Head.
And those are two big ones, yeah.
Sam Adams is the number 1 craft brewer in America, and I believe Dogfish Head was number 4.
Yeah, so these are the two big dogs.
Yeah. So they're the 2 big dogs by a large margin now.
Yeah. Now, I'm not...
Or rather, the 1 big dog.
I'm not a huge fan of, like, the Sam Adams Boston Lagers. They're okay. I mean, I'll take them over like a domestic Bud. Or
Their winter lager is really good.
Yeah.
Their Sam Adams Classic, the Boston
They're
Lager
okay.
is pretty solid. But I'll give them like solid. Like they're 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
There's nothing mind-blowingly good about them.
And I think they're priced
drinkable.
appropriately. They're typically cheaper than than your.
Yeah, it's typically if I go to a bar around here, it's $3 to $4 for a domestic. It's for a domestic, sorry. It's about $5 for maybe a Sam Adams, and then it's maybe like $7 or $8 for a good craft.
Yeah.
So they're in kind of that second tier.
Depending on where you go, there's some places I found where you can still find a craft pint for about $4.50,
Right.
$5, but
Depending
on where you go.
Yeah.
You go up to Portland and it's like it's expensive.
Exactly. So $300 million merger between the two companies, and this is going to do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to get Sam Adams a much larger portfolio of beers to be able to distribute. Number two, it's going to be able to distribute Dogfish Head to a much larger area. Because remember, Sam Adams has national and international distribution. Yeah. Dogfish Head was really more towards the East Coast. They were kind of like Texas and East. Yeah. So if they can get distribution pushed out west through existing channels with a partner, this makes perfect sense for both companies.
I know that Dogfish Head, you can get Dogfish Head out here.
You can,
but it's usually their staples. And it's like they do the 120-minute IPA, which is their big IPA. But they're 90-minute. You can also get pretty much anywhere. I think they had their Midas Touch came out here pretty easily. But if you go look on their website, some of the stuff that they sell back east, you can't get over here.
Right.
So those new ones, I'm looking forward to trying to get over here.
Yeah.
I hope they come out here.
Right. And like I said, because they're going to have access to a larger distribution network, they're going to have cheaper shipping. They're going to have potentially produce a lot more barrels of some of their stuff. So there's going to be room to be able to ship them to Oregon and Washington, California, and places like that. So, kind of exciting news. Really curious to see what this does. Now, the founder of Dogfish Head is now the second largest shareholder for Sam Adams and is taking a place on their executive board.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was the other news. So it's not like he sold the company and he's walking away. He's now essentially the vice president within the company.
It was kind of a merger type of a thing.
Right. And it made sense for both. And it's really nice to see craft beer staying with each other and knowing where your strengths are at.
Instead of getting sold out by a big InBev or
and
something like that.
Sold to Miller Coors or whoever.
Yeah.
So that news dropped literally about 6 hours after we got off the air last week.
Yeah.
I remember some people
posting it,
tweeting at me and whatnot. Did you hear this happen? Did you talk about it?
Yeah, like just happened.
Sorry. Yep. Boston Brewing is second. Younglings is number one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Youngling. Okay.
That's right.
We were close. Yeah.
That's right.
I still like that Star Wars meme where it's like, I saw Anakin killing a bunch of
killing younglings, and he's got a 12-pack in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. Have we heard of a Mexican-style lager, El Sully?
I have not.
Does not ring a bell on mine. No. You have a bunch of foam in your beard. You poured yourself a little too much head.
I did.
Yeah.
All right. It was decorative.
Yep. Let's see. My wifey likes the Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. It's not bad. Cool.
Ooh, wow.
I've not had that one. Yeah. Moving on. What do we got next?
Next we have... Oh, yeah.
Oh. John was so excited to share this one, and I think he may have found his new job.
I think
his new calling in life.
This is, he wanted this... I think I posted this because I think this is what he wanted. I mean, he's already got a pretty good job, but he wants to be an intern now.
Yeah. I think. He wants to intern for Natty Light, of all places. While I'll never sell out, John is more than happy to.
Yeah, he can do it.
So Natty Light is hiring a summer intern, and your responsibilities will be drinking beer and making $40 an hour while playing beer pong.
Yep. Basically, go to events and be an influencer while you're drinking Natty Ice.
That's exactly right.
Or just Natty beer.
Right.
Which I You know what? That sounds horrible because
It does.
Last time I was on, I brought that.
You brought the bomber of Natty Ice.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
Imagine having to drink that every day.
Every day.
I'd be like, oh, please, no more.
Yeah.
It was like Slurmus McKenzie. Kill me now. I'm done partying.
I'm so very, very tired. Yeah. No, it would absolutely be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even drink beer every day.
Yeah, no, I know.
Wednesday nights is the most I ever drink by a pretty large margin. If I drink every day, it's a beer.
Yeah.
I didn't have a single beer this weekend. I didn't have Saturday, Sunday. I was just up working around in the yard doing this. Had an iced tea at some point.
Oh, we went down to Independence and I think we had a beer down there, but that was about it.
Yeah. So, but I could not drink Natty Ice every single day. I don't care how much I won't say I don't care how much they were paying me. Maybe $80 an hour.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is like it's $40 an hour is still not bad, but if you read the article and go down. It's not full time. It's only for like 3 months or something. So you only get like based on the hours that they're going to give you. They'll pay you like I think it comes with like $12,000 or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, not bad for a summer work for a college kid. I gotta drink Natty Ice.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
Long.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't.
Couldn't do it. Tea time computing. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of iced tea lately or hot black tea. I mean, I do coffee some mornings. I'll have maybe 2 to 3 cups of coffee a week.
I do
coffee every day?
Every morning. Yeah, just about every morning.
Yep. I'll do it maybe, usually on Thursdays I have a cup or 2 of coffee because I kind of need it to get up and going after Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Wednesdays tend to be a little bit long in this household.
I have various ways of making coffee and I make it depending on how I feel in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I have an espresso machine, I have drip coffee, I also have a French press. So,
how is Steve's audio? Is he a little quiet tonight? Because I have his microphone kind of pointed away. There we go. We'll just point it down. We'll just point it down a little bit. There we go. I just noticed it's like pointing at like the top of your chair up here.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if that was quiet or not or what. Or if it's too loud now, I don't care.
Bulletproof Death Wish coffee. Yes, I've had that before.
Yes, I have had that. I've been doing Lavazza. Makes some really great espresso blends.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing some of that. I am a sucker for the super dark Starbucks roasts. So I'll buy some whole beans and I'll grind them there.
Yeah.
So, not like cheap coffee, but not super expensive coffee either.
We got.
I'm not a coffee enthusiast.
We got. Well, I mean, I'll like try different kinds. Like I'll go to a couple local roasters and stuff like that, and try their coffee.
Yeah,
that's usually pretty good. And I'll go for the French roast, the darker roast, and stuff like that. I typically like those. Although, funny note, the lighter roasts actually have more caffeine in them.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like.
I don't care. I like the bitterness.
I know. I like the dark, deep, rich bitterness. And if I want more caffeine, I'll just drink 2 glasses.
So full disclosure, about a year ago, I think it was about a year, maybe 8 or 9 months. Lavazza Coffee actually reached out to me on Twitter, and and they said, "Hey, can we send you some coffee?" And like we just saw some of your videos, and we'd like to send you some coffee. Right. And so they sent me like a care pack with a couple of things of ground coffee and a mug and whatnot, And I immediately responded, "How did you know a beer drinker in Oregon enjoyed his coffee?"
Yeah.
And I said, "We just had a feeling."
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, but one of their marketing guys saw some of my videos and liked it and said, "Hey, can I send you some coffee?" And so a couple times that I've had coffee here on the channel, it's been Lavazza coffee, and I've had their mug on. I think I only had their mug in one of my videos.
Yeah, because I don't remember directly endorsing them, but maybe it was
I don't think I named. I don't think I named them, but I did place their product in one of my videos, just for hey, thanks for sending me coffee.
Yeah.
So,
thanks,
there are minor perks to this job that you wouldn't normally think of.
When you choose coffee, choose Kirkland coffee.
That's right. For the very best on a Thursday morning.
Just need a tiny bit of gain on me.
Yep. Tiny bit of gain on.
Tiny bit of gain. Now I'm going to start talking a lot louder, and it's going to sound like I'm just yelling.
All right, there's a tiny bit of gain on Steve.
Yeah.
I will say I have a much louder voice than Steve does.
Yeah.
So I'm naturally a little louder. And you can tell I'm I have some audio engineer training because he says, oh, a little bit more gain on Steve. So I turned myself down. You don't fix audio by turning things up that you can't hear. You fix audio by turning everything else down. Otherwise, you're just going to end up peaking.
Yeah.
So that's my audio hint for the day.
To take 2 shots. Oh my god. Not yet. I will.
Yeah. Linus has Madrinas. Jeff has Lavazza. Except I actually drink coffee. Linus.
Yeah.
Linus doesn't drink anything.
Water, probably.
Water and... no, he does those, like, energy shake drinks, I think.
Those might be too spicy for him. I don't know.
Yeah, not like the Mio water,
right,
but
right.
He did, like, the energy packs for a while.
Throw them in there,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, at least I actually like coffee, Linus.
Yeah, no, I like coffee, too.
All right, what else we got?
Oh, yeah, what's
By the way, on Discord this last week, we figured out that whenever I say "all right" on the live show,
yeah, people
it should be a drinking game.
Yeah, all right.
In between almost every story, I catch myself
here's-
going, "All right."
If you really want
And
to,
if I clap, finish your drink.
if you want to get the audience really drunk, then do your Matthew McConaughey impersonation.
All right.
All right. And everyone's like,
Me and my Lincoln.
I got my Lincoln.
What was that commercial during the Western Conference Finals? There was Matthew McConaughey's like running through the woods, and then he runs up and he like unlocks his Lincoln, and he sits down and he kind of goes, and he sees it like starting up, and it does like its safety check, and it says backup cameras, okay, parking sensor, okay, lane detect, okay, and then the next scene, he got back out of his car and he's like laying in the ground and he's going. And then it shows the Lincoln driving away. It's like,
what the heck is
what?
That? He's like, I want to make a Lincoln commercial, but I want it to be like True Detectives.
Right.
Weird and unusual.
Right. But it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then he said something at the end that had nothing to do with like the safety features.
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait till I'm that level of celebrity. That's when you really get the perks.
Where he do like the Calvin Klein obsession level of commercials.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? What are you even selling?
Just a black and white pan of topless models.
Yeah, I just go by, sex salesman, whatever.
Yeah. Is that Levi's jeans? I guess I could see the belt loops.
I don't know.
Yeah. 501.
501. Yeah.
All right. So a Charlotte brewery is in, I got ahead of myself. Charlotte Brewery probably has one of the all-time records for fastest recovery of a stolen vehicle. And the way they did it was they gave away free beer.
Yep. They offered free beer to anybody who could find it.
Yep. 42 minutes.
Yep. Didn't take long.
So they pull up to their brewery one morning and noticed that one of their delivery vans had been stolen. So they called police, filed a report, and then they went, well, we've got rounds to make. We've got deliveries to make because they distribute their own beer. And they said, you know what? Let's enlist our Twitter followers to find this for us. So they put a tweet on Twitter, as one does, and says, hey, someone stole our van this morning. Free keg party for the person who finds it.
Yeah.
42 minutes later, was it Lori?
Some lady.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Lorraine. I
can't remember.
Caroline.
Caroline.
Excuse me. I was way off. Caroline tweeted at them and said, found it, said, stolen van, where you at? And tagged them in it. And it looks like they are indeed going to honor that reward of a free keg party.
Now that always happens. Like, you invite your friends to help you move, or whatever like that. And they're like, you know what? I might be busy that weekend. And you tell them you're going to give them free beer. And they're like, well, maybe I can make it. I think I can do it.
Suddenly their truck is starting.
Like, oh, yeah, well, maybe I can fit you in.
Yep.
So free beer motivates people.
I did the really smart thing when I bought a truck. I bought a truck, but it's a quad cab with a 5-foot bed.
So you can't put Can't have your friends move too
I
much.
can't move an entire house with it. I can haul what I need to haul, and I can take stuff to the dump.
It's not an extended bed or anything.
But it's not an extended bed. I can't haul drywall in it.
Right.
So I have a truck.
Yeah.
But it's just barely a truck. It's in fact a van with the seats removed is going to have more cargo space than my truck does.
It's truck in spirit.
Yeah. And it's a 6-speed, so they can't drive it.
Yeah. I've heard of that before. Like some people won't steal manual transmissions because they don't know how.
Both of my daily drivers are manuals.
Yeah, I know. Mine's manual too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many people know. For some reason, it's a dying breed, but they're more fun to drive.
Oh, I
definitely
love driving them.
Yeah.
The truck is a kick in the pants. It's a 2013 Frontier Pro 4X with a 6-speed. Oh, it's fun. And then of course my Z car. I'm kind of a Nissan whore.
That's a nice car.
Yeah. I have a 350Z convertible 6-speed. Love that car. Okay, one more quick note of beer news, and we'll just kind of briefly touch on this because we got to move on. It's 8:27.
It's been long.
Yep. I will say before we get into the last note, this isn't getting too...
Not too acidity.
It's got it.
It's got it.
It's got a little bit of a burn.
Like, I've had some that's way worse than this, like after a couple sips it did, but it's definitely there.
I had one a couple of weeks ago where after literally the first 2 or 3 ounces, all I tasted was acid.
Yeah.
And I called it a milkshake IPA because I would have sworn it was lactose. It was not. It was that burny that it's like, oh, that's got really good hop flavor and it stays with you. And I can taste the oranges and the citrus and a little bit of grapefruit on it. By the 3rd ounce, I was gone.
Oh, yeah.
And sucking the rest of that beer down was horrible.
Yeah. It just tastes like a mouthful of acid.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad I tasted it because it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But it was only interesting for about that much.
Yeah. No, this is it's a slow burn, but it's not.
It's lost some of the flavor.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it as much, but I still enjoy this.
Yeah.
So, last news story before we move into tech. Please name that acidic beer. The really acidic one or this one? Because this is the Fort George Christ Knife.
Chris Knife.
Chris Knife. Excuse me.
Chris or Christ, whatever.
Chris Knife. CRYSKNIFE.
It's not that acidic.
No.
I think like the pseudo sue and stuff like that. Those are a little more acidic. Than
Yeah.
this.
Go ahead and introduce this next story, and I'll look up the name of that last
okay.
beer.
So real quick on this one, we have another lawsuit, and it looks like
Riveting lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Guns N' Roses is suing a brewery over the name of the beer that they created called Guns N' Rose.
Guns N' Roses. I love the name.
Guns N' Rose.
I love the name.
That sounds pretty good. I mean, they're complaining that it's damaging their brand or whatever like that. It's like,
Really, Slash?
Yeah,
really?
Come on.
Really, Axl
Rose?
Come on.
I think Axl Rose damages his own brand fine enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I guess they're looking for, because they also put out, this brewery also puts out, I guess, T-shirts and pint glasses and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so they kind of have to go, rebrand everything like that. I don't know if it's actually going to go into litigation or whatever, all them lawyery terms. But it looks like that's going down here pretty quick.
Yep. The lawsuit's at least been filed and it hasn't been dismissed immediately.
No, it hasn't.
Anyway, I looked up the name of the super acidic beer that I had. It was Burlington Beer Company out of Vermont, and it was Intangible Tides. It was a triple IPA, 10%, and it was not a milkshake IPA as I claimed in the video, and I did make that correction in the description, but it was on my GTX 1650 review. Really, really great flavor right off the bat. Like, it was super, super good.
Yeah.
And then 4 ounces in, it was just burned.
Yeah.
And I couldn't taste anything for another 12 hours. It was that bad of a burn. So, fantastic, but don't get anything more than a sampler.
Yeah, that's like a sampler.
Yeah. Get your 2 to 4 ounce tulip and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as a double, that's kind of all you really want anyway.
Right. So, yep, that's what that one was. Okay.
Tech news.
Tech news. Moving on to tech news. Okay. I'm trying not to say all right, and it's throwing me off my groove.
Yeah. It's just an awkward transition.
Becky Pooh, I blame you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
So Sapphire made a brand new RX 570 with 16 gigabytes because they think mining is still a thing.
Yeah.
Or at least it's coming back.
With this particular card, it's geared toward a specific cryptocurrency.
Towards a specific algorithm.
Yeah. Well, actually, two specific. There's two algorithms.
Right.
Two algorithms. One's that's geared towards memory. One's towards the GPU. Hold on, one sip.
I was already sipping. You have to finish talking.
That's. I was done.
That's all you have?
Well, yeah.
That's all you have
to say.
That's all you have to contribute?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm not going to buy the card. I don't care.
So Sapphire's coming out with a 16 gigabyte RX 570. There's a new algorithm called Grin, Mimblewumble blockchain.
Yeah, the Mimblewumble.
Mimblewumble blockchain protocol. Grin is also something that has been dubbed Privacy Coin. And it is a little bit different algorithm than traditional cryptocurrencies have been. They've been typically ASIC based. These ones are relying much more on memory. A little bit more storage to what your storage bitcoins were, or your storage crypto mining was. Yeah. I know people who had hundreds of terabytes of storage who said, I'm not using it, I might as well store data and mine with it.
Mine with it, yeah.
So exactly. The words they're coming out with in the mining community is just insane.
Yeah.
Grin will be available with 2 proof-of-work algorithms, including primary ASIC-friendly algorithm called Cuckatoo,
Okay.
and a secondary ASIC-resistant algorithm called Cuckaroo.
So, not confusing at all.
Yeah.
This will be, like, crystal clear.
Right. The profitability of each algorithm will change over time, but the initial stage will favor the AR Cuckaroo algorithm.
Yeah.
I just love the terminology. So Sapphire is making pretty hard that there will be a pretty intense memory-based algorithm that is coming out.
Yeah. So 16 gigabit card is going to be...
Right, and that someone will take advantage of it. I hope mining doesn't come back. I know AI is a thing, and I deeply like AI in the industry, but I hope it doesn't come back to start scooping up all the consumer cards again, because the last 12 months sucked.
Yeah, that was horrible. And I'm glad I didn't have to upgrade.
Right.
Because that would have been terrible.
Yeah, because your 970 died not long ago.
Not long after, yeah.
Right, not long after.
Right when the prices started dropping.
Yeah.
And the RTXs first came out, that's when my 970 died, yeah.
Yep. You gotta plan your transitions better. Or I gotta plan my drinks better, one of the two. Say more than one sentence.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Guitar Guy over on the Discord says, my first car was a 1985 Nissan 300ZX Turbo. T-tops and all, hood scoop, all the fun. Missed that car. Loved the 300ZX. Heck of a car. A friend of mine had a Nissan Pulsar.
I don't think I remember the Pulsar.
Yeah, it was the Pulsar was very similar to an MR2.
Okay.
As far, I don't think it was mid-engine, but it was very similar designed to like the Del Sol MR2.
Oh, right, yeah.
The
that when they were popular back then, like the early 90s.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah, the ZZ20 kind of car. Yeah, cool little car. Ran like hell. It did not run very well, but fun car nonetheless. Moving on to some Computex news. Now, I think I put the AMD things out of order, so we'll do this one first, and then I'm going to jump forward to the other AMD story, and then we'll jump back.
Okay, sure.
Just so you know the order.
Okay.
So AMD announced yesterday that AMD's keynote with Lisa Su on stage at Computex 2019 will be live streamed. And you can follow their Twitter to find out where it's going to be live streamed at. They will live stream 10 a.m. Taiwan Standard Time on May 27th, which I believe is only 15 hours north of U.S. time. No, it's exactly 12 ahead of Eastern Standard, or Eastern Daylight.
Well, I think you could just Google
and it's 15 ahead of Pacific Daylight.
Yeah,
which is what we're in right now.
Because I think Google knows which one you're in. So if you say 10, was it say PM? AM.
10 AM.
TST.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be something like a 7 p.m. broadcast.
Okay. PST, I guess. What is that? Nope. Nope. Converter. Okay. It worked on the desktop Google.
I've never had any problems with this, Steve.
I don't want to go look it up right now. But...
A lot of car talk going on in the chat right now.
Oh. So
anyway.
You kicked up a hornet's nest.
I did. So yeah, go ahead and jump over to the AMD Twitter and find out where that's going to be live streamed from. I will certainly be watching that live stream. I believe that's going to be a 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, so 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight. Hopefully the Blazers are still playing, so I'm hoping it won't conflict with a playoff.
With the playoff game.
Yeah.
Oh, you have multi-monitors. You can have them both up at once.
And I've done that before.
Yeah, I've done that before too. It's like there's two things I want to watch at the same time. I'll do it.
Okay, your username says otherwise, but 82 Celica, you said you had a Pulsar GTI-R. A buddy of mine also had a different friend, had a 19, I want to say he had an 84 Celica Supra. And it was the straight 6, I want to say. I think it had a straight 6 in it. That was a fun car. Turbo all-wheel drive. Mine was a 72 Ford Maverick 6.3, 3 on the tree. Nice. Straight 6, 3 on the tree. There was someone else had a 65 Plymouth Belvedere 225 slant 6, 3 on the column. Man, that thing could smoke the tires forever. PDT would be 8 p.m.
We're going to have to start adding a car segment to the show now.
First car was an 82 Celica convertible. Very nice.
82 Celica convertible. Wow.
First car was a 99 Daewoo Leganza. I know that car. My mom actually had one of those when I was in high school.
I have no idea what a
Daewoo Leganza.
I have never heard of that before.
It was a...
I gotta look at that.
I believe they partnered with a Zuzu for a little while, and I don't remember what the cross brand was.
Daewoo?
It was Daewoo was a Korean brand, and it was like pre-Kia days.
Daewoo Leganza, yeah, there it is. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Kind of had some late '90s Jaguar inspired design on the grill.
Its name sounds more fantastical than its design.
It totally does.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like a sedan.
Right, it looks like a Toyota Corolla from 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe not 10,
Daewoo
more...
Leganza.
Leganza.
That sounds like extravagant.
Yeah.
You look at this is like,
And Becky says she's enjoying the non-all-right show.
Not all right.
Not all right. Don't drink that beer. 82 Capri. I had a 76 Capri for a while.
Really?
I was trying to rebuild it. It was a cross model with the Mustang 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it was a Mercury's model of the Mustang 2.
No, my first car was a Dodge Aspen. A 70...
I think it had a 262 in it?
76 Dodge Aspen with a slant 6.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, mine had the Capri had a V6. It was a 260, I want to say. Mm-hmm. 260, 242, somewhere right in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact numbers because that's been 14 years ago.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
Yeah. Daewoo was big before Kia and Saturn hit big. Yeah, Saturn was hitting big about the same time Daewoo was, and then Kia kind of picked up around 2001-ish, I want to say. So, all right. Ha! Had to say it.
All right.
I have a transition word. It's just what it is. Live with it. AMD in other news. Well, in news related to Computex, as I said, there's going to be some Computex rumors coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Yes,
and
because we got that. This is one.
This is a big one.
Yep, this is a good one.
So we knew that the chiplet design and the I/O die being on 14 nanometer and then that little 7 nanometer chiplet sitting just north meant there was room for another chiplet.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
Today there's a 3000 series AMD processor with 12 cores that has been leaked on a benchmark. And the benchmarks are, I'm just going to say, quite encouraging.
Yeah, this looks really good.
Right. They were not done at peak system performance. The benchmarks were done at about 3.3 gigahertz. Mm-hmm. The rumored benchmark for this spec for this processor has been about a 3.4 gigahertz base and a 3.7 turbo. But if we're going to call this reality, we're expecting to see specs quite a bit higher than this on release. So this was an engineering sample chip.
This is the engineering sample chip, yes.
And the reason I say we're expecting to see much larger numbers on release is the leaked specs that we have. If you want to scroll down that list a little bit, there's a table down below. Right there. The leaked specs that we have show the Ryzen 7 3700 12-core 24-thread with a base of 3.8 and a turbo of 4.6.
Yeah.
Now at 3.3 gigahertz, the Ryzen 3000 series 12-core chip. Oh, and at 1600 megahertz DDR4 RAM, not even 2666 or 3000.
This is like a mediocre RAM. This isn't like...
This isn't even spec DDR4 because that's 2133. At 3.3 gigahertz, this was getting faster IPC than a Threadripper 1920X 12-core.
That's very encouraging.
So if you consider the IPC gains from going from 14 to 12 down to 7 nanometer on your process fab, plus that 4.6 gigahertz boost on top of that, plus getting this with maybe some 3600 megahertz memory.
Oh yeah, and then look at the speculated price is reasonable.
$299.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, $299 estimated retail price or guessed retail price.
Guess retail price. I mean, there's no guarantee that that's going to be
right,
but that's what they're guessing.
Right. So, I hope.
Yeah, I know.
I hope.
I know. So it's like if this is real, I was like, I'll probably pick one up.
Yes.
I mean, because I'm looking to upgrade my CPU and everything.
Because you're on a 3770, aren't you?
There's a little bit higher than that. It's a 4790.
So you're generation past.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So 4790K. Yeah, you're on Haswell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a couple of years old.
Yeah.
So it's due for a CPU upgrade. This is very attractive. I mean, this is
only 4 cores. How do you live?
Well, it's hyper-threaded. So yeah.
Only 4 cores. How do you live? Yep. So, really, really hopeful. And the closer we get, and the more some of these leaks are kind of being corroborated, the more excited I'm getting. I was excited before, but I was also skeptically excited.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting like genuinely excited.
The closer it's getting to Computex,
we're 2 weeks away.
We should be getting some legitimate leaks.
Right.
Some legitimate rumors.
Right. We're 12 days away from Computex.
Yeah.
We're 12 days away from this launch.
Yeah.
Or from this announcement, rather. First car was a Volvo 850-95. Sorry, still a bunch of...
people talking about cars.
Yep. This is my 94 Pontiac Firebird Formula V8. Ooh. Have you seen the Kia Stinger? I love the Kia Stinger.
I have not seen the Kia Stinger.
It's... I didn't know about the car until I saw one driving down 205.
I mean, like, what the hell is that?
And what the hell is that? Because it sounds amazing. And I happened to have found the GT model, which is the twin-turbo V6 model.
So it was the GT one that you saw?
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice-looking car.
It's a nice-looking car.
Yeah.
Twin-turbo V6, 400 horse.
Wow.
I think it's 400 horse. Might be like 360.
They gotta make a sportier-looking family car.
Yeah. That's kind of what they're trying to do with that. Is it's trying to be the...
Well, that looks like it's still 2-door on those things, aren't they?
I thought it was 4-door.
Oh, yeah, there's some that are 4-door.
Yeah.
The GT is 4-door, yes.
Yeah.
4-door.
But they're trying to compete with like the Mercedes CL, you know, the 400 horsepower saloons that are out there. And I think they might just do it. Ooh, I'm trying to sneeze here. Rather, I'm trying not to sneeze here.
Is this another side effect of the hazy beer?
It might be.
Yeah.
It's getting to my nose.
It is.
I will say that.
I think that acid buildup for me has kind of hit its peak. It's like it's not getting any worse, but it's not getting any better either. So
right, and that's my real big problem with the hazies is while the flavors you can do so much more with the flavors that they're so much more complex than some of our regular IPAs we get around here. I stop enjoying them way sooner.
That's true. Yeah, like towards the, like you get a beer like usually towards the end you start to enjoy it more,
right?
Especially with the darker beers.
Yeah.
Usually with hazies, I enjoy them right away.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, I'm like, eh.
And I enjoy them super cold.
Yes.
Like pour this at like 34, 36. Don't give this to me at 45. Right now, it's probably sitting between 45 and 50.
Yeah.
And it's a little warm.
The citrus notes have definitely died down.
Yes, they have.
Completely died down.
Yep. So, someone said, can we please talk about the zombie
we
exploit? And that is on the list.
It's on the list.
Very shortly.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2 stories away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to check the full show notes, they're down below in the description. So yeah, we've got Supreme Court, SpaceX, and Adobe, and then we've got Intel ZombieLoad. So it's in there. And in fact, I think we might just briefly touch on SpaceX. Does anyone know, was the launch successful? Because I didn't get to watch it.
It happened like right when I got here.
Yeah.
And it's happened at 7:30 our time.
Right.
So we don't know if it exploded or if it got hijacked by aliens or what.
Yeah. Looking.
I had
launch was scrubbed.
Oh, it was scrubbed.
Okay.
That's why. Okay.
Was it scrubbed? Hold on.
Was it sponsored by Roy Orbison or something? No. No, that's
Past Hour.
Van Morrison. Van Morrison does Moondance.
Updated. Here we go. 15 minutes before the Falcon 9 rocket was due to lift off on Wednesday evening on Florida, the launch was scrubbed. Okay, so we can still talk about what I knew.
Okay. Okay. It got scrubbed.
Which we actually might just skip that entirely because it's just Starlink launching their first 60 satellites, which I believe we talked about last week.
Yeah,
so we're going to skip
internet
that.
satellites, yeah.
Yep. All right. Now that we've covered that.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. Supreme Court's Antitrust. So the Supreme Court ruled today, or yesterday, I believe it was.
It was yesterday, yeah.
Against Apple in a ruling that a lawsuit can continue for an antitrust claim against the App Store. Now, I've been waiting for one of these to kind of go through against Apple. And one of them is going to stick, and one of them is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. How much damage it does, who knows? And what the ramifications long-term are for the platform, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact that Apple is the sole gatekeeper for a community marketplace regardless of whether or not they own the platform, it is an antitrust issue because they sell 400 million phones a year.
They have basically the only entry to get apps onto their phone.
Right. So you have to play by their rules, abide by their pricing standards, abide by their device limitations and whatnot, or you don't get to play in their sandbox.
They
see what I did there?
They
So there has been an antitrust lawsuit brought forward against Apple, and this went all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled that the reason this was up for debate was Apple was arguing that the lawsuit's being brought forward by consumers, and consumers themselves don't have the right to bring an antitrust case against Apple because they're not ones who are trying to place apps into the App Store.
They were trying to put the burden of proof onto the developers.
Correct.
Yeah.
They said developers would have to bring the suit against us. It can't be the consumers who are just buying the content. Yeah. And that's not true. Yeah. Whether or not this particular antitrust claim will stick, that is still kind of up in the air.
Yeah. It's just saying it can go forward.
But at this point, it's been allowed to go forward.
Yeah.
So they said the lawsuit is not dismissed here.
And it could be, is it like a class action? I don't know.
This will likely not end in a class action. I don't think this is a class action lawsuit. What this is likely doing is Apple has to open the door to another developer and
another marketplace, basically.
Right, and basically possibly pay back damages for lost. It wouldn't be lost revenue, but it'd be money that a consumer spent on products that would be above market price for another platform.
Right. So if they bought it, they can say, well, we can't get it over here for cheaper.
Right.
And we're stuck in Apple because Apple, as we all know, is like the Ron Popeil of you just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Don't want to deal with it type of a thing.
So, lawsuits being allowed to continue. We've got the SpaceX we talked about. Yep. Adobe made news earlier for... Boy, I can't wait until software licensing goes back away from subscription services, but I doubt it ever will.
Yeah. This is the first real abuse of the subscription service. I'm not a big proponent of that either. Mm-hmm. Software as a service, I don't really like it. I'm even a little iffy with a lot of web apps too. Yeah. Same thing too, especially when a subscription service, if you put too much eggs in those baskets and all of a sudden the service goes away, you were screwed. Yep. And this is what Adobe is basically doing. When they first started their Creative Suite collection back in 2013, I believe. I think it was around
11.
11. You think was? 11?
No, they came out with the CS versions first, and so it was right about 13.
But before that, you would buy a seat license, and then you could use that seat license,
right?
And it doesn't matter how long you had it; it was yours,
right?
Now they went to a subscription service, and based on their end license agreement, basically they can say when you can stop using it or not,
right?
And if you don't, then you're out of compliance, and they can go after you.
It's not that they can go after
Well, not that they can. There's a third party.
There's a third party. Dolby, in this case, has some claims about how Adobe was processing files inside of Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere, Animate, and Media Director programs.
Right. It was third party.
Right. So basically, Adobe sent out a letter to a number of users. Dear valued customer at Adobe, we always strive to deliver more value to our customers. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Including...
we want to leech more money off of our customers.
Including much requested new features and capabilities for an all-new higher price every single year. For those reasons, we recommend all customers use the latest version of Creative Cloud applications, even though your license doesn't say that you have to.
Right.
We have recently discontinued certain older versions of Creative Cloud applications, and as a result, under the terms of our agreement, you are no longer licensed to use them. So this is the first time that Adobe has used their power to revoke previously available licensure.
Yeah.
Now, this does only apply to Creative Cloud subscriptions. So this is not if you own a version of Photoshop 7 that you downloaded years ago.
Which I think I still might have somewhere.
Right. The general reaction on Reddit was, people pay for Adobe?
Yeah, that's like, come on.
I pay for Adobe because I use it professionally, and there is no way in heck I'm going to have them come after me for not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you use it professionally, of course you should.
And it still ticks me off every time I see that $50 come out of my checkbook every month, because that's 10% of my monthly budget here on this channel.
Yeah.
I don't.
And you just use Premiere pretty much, right?
Yeah, I'm all Premiere, although Premiere's been driving me batty ever since I moved to 4K. And same camera settings, same codec, same everything else every week, and
poop all over.
And different issues every single week arise. There was one where I couldn't get through a final render. It would just struggle. It would error out halfway through the render.
It rendered you useless.
This last week, I imported my video. I applied a color correction onto one of I applied levels and brightness and contrast. And that's really all I do out of the Fuji X-T3 because it has such good in-body color. Just apply a little bit of contrast and kind of adjust your exposure and you're done. I applied those video adjustments to one of my clips and Adobe froze and it crashed. No crash warning or message or anything like that. It just, I'm done. I'm out. I'm closed. But it freezes for about 20 seconds beforehand, so you know it's coming.
Right.
And then you relaunch.
Just enough time to get that sinking feeling.
Right.
That like.
So I relaunch it, and I made sure to save and did everything I needed to do. And then I applied the color correction again, and as soon as I drug the filter over there, it died again. Now, what the crap?
Yeah.
So this time I drug it over there, and this time it worked. And
so there's no rhyme or reason.
But then I clicked on a value, and it crashed again.
Oh, man.
To edit a contrast value. And so it's like the same clips that I've been importing now for like 3 months, all of a sudden didn't work with this value.
Yeah.
Same codec, same camera, same capture card, same settings, same
everything.
Everything's the same.
Just Adobe
just
wanted to be a dick for that day.
I don't want to behave today.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a dick. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So, and unfortunately, the only other one I'd really consider is Resolve because you can use it for free or you can pay the $300 one time and you're done.
Right.
And you get free updates for life. They don't handle my codec natively, and so I'd have to transcode. No, I'd have to transcode all my footage before I imported it, which I could probably do by throwing it at my VM and just having a watch folder and then dump it out somewhere else.
There's no third-party plugin that supports it? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Resolve really only works with professional codecs, and so you have to send it like a DNxR or ProRes or something like that. And I don't use an external recorder. I record straight to a capture card through OBS for most of my A-roll footage. And OBS only exports H.264. And
okay, and then so it doesn't.
And it hates that.
It doesn't like it.
Yep. I can import the clips, but they're audio only, which doesn't do me a lot of good.
Well, just go call it a blog.
We'll just do
a podcast.
We'll just do a podcast from now on.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's getting warm in here all of a sudden.
I feel pretty good, actually.
I'm a little bit warm.
Yeah. You gotta cut back on the cocaine.
Yeah. My problem with this room is there's no ventilation at all. And so, I sweat like a guy about twice my size. So if there's no airflow, I just start sweating. It could be 50 degrees outside. I'll start sweating. I know it's way more information than people needed to know, but it's out there now. That was just the 1 terabyte SD card. I think there's just something blocking it. Don't worry about it.
No, this was the this is the zombie one.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, we need to get that.
Yeah, this is Tom's.
Well, just open Google and search. We'll pull up a different article for reference.
Okay.
I wonder if mine got shut down
I
or something. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, 403 forbidden for some reason.
Yeah. And it's loading over here.
Huh. That's weird. I hit
So
refresh
just go
times.
ZombieLoad.
Let's see what we got here. There's the Tom's Guide one.
Forbidden.
That's weird. Does not like this.
The laptop's going through a VPN, so I'm wondering if it's blocking.
That could be what it is.
Yep.
There's not a turn off VPN switcher.
Nope.
Okay.
So just click another article. Just click
I'll do the Forbes one.
Yeah, the Forbes.
Forbes is just known for their high tech prowess.
There you go.
That is not okay. There it is. Yeah.
I guess that is the right thumbnail.
All right, whatever.
Intel ZombieLoad, one of the 4 new exploits that is available for an Intel processor near you on every Intel processor since 2008. Intel, keeping your exploits fresh.
Oh yeah, it's keeping you on your toes.
That's right.
When you bought Intel processors, it was an exciting ride to begin with. It's going to keep.
Oh, I was an early adopter for Spectre and Meltdown. I bought Nehalem processors right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I had an i7 920.
I'm just waiting for people to steal my data.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you were ahead of me first, but now I wait.
Yeah,
It just got away from me.
See, the acid caught up to me, and I'm enjoying it less even now than I was earlier. Yeah. So I'd say this is a 3.5. Don't get more than 8 ounces. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. You have to like hazies.
Yeah, I mean I do, and I like hazies a lot. But this was like great, good, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to lose enjoyment with this, which is why I'm saying don't drink more than 8, because I'm 12 ounces into this right now, maybe 10, but yeah, it's I'm enjoying this less. Anyway, so ZombieLoad, one of 4 new exploits available for your Intel processor. Very similar to Spectre and Meltdown, this uses speculative execution to predict. It
exploits the speculative.
It exploits the speculative execution. So basically, Intel, one of the ways that they gain speed is they say, "Oh, you're running this calculation a whole bunch on this data. So I'm gonna run a couple calculations ahead to get a couple milliseconds ahead in the data run. And if all of a sudden you ask for this, I've already got it.
I got it, and it pushes it through.
Right.
It's basically monitoring that." Mm-hmm. And that gets utilized in all kinds of things: browsing, data processing, encryption, all that kind of stuff. So you get people who have exploited this can see your browser, real-time browsing history, or real-time browsing, your encrypted data, passwords, all kinds of stuff like that.
Basically, what speculative execution means, or the speculative exploit means, is they can view the CPU as a map to every other component within your system, and they can view the data coming in and out of those components. So if you've received data from a website, you've already decrypted it, you've already got the HTTPS copy written down, you're just reading the plain text, because the plain text has to go somewhere. At that level, the encryption that you use between your source and your destination doesn't matter, because you've already decrypted that source.
Got it,
so that's why these exploits are so severe, is the data is already there in plain text, just waiting to be copied.
No amount of encryption is going to help.
Exactly. So ZombieLoad and its kin, which by the way, as much as I loved the algorithm
the
names,
Cuckyboo or whatever, and Cuckyroo or whatever,
Cuckaroo and Cuckaboo, and
Cuckatoo,
which just sounds weird. Let's see, what were the names for this one? ZombieLoad and the 3 related vulnerabilities. Where is it at? I'm looking for it. Speculative execution. Here we go. ZombieLoad, Fallout, Riddle, and store-to-leak forwarding.
Yeah. Oh, ZombieLoad, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the winner right there.
I'm wondering why they didn't name it Tom Riddle. Just go Voldemort.
Yeah, go Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call it Voldemort.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's right.
Let's see.
That makes me tremble a lot more than RIDL does.
It's the exploit that shall not be named.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Spectre. We don't talk about that anymore.
Just talking. Respect
that. So there's some varying reports about what CPUs are actually affected. We know everything from Intel from 2008 up until 7th gen is completely affected. Mobile, Atom.
And there's some disputing whether 7th gen up is affected.
Right.
Some say yes, some say no.
Intel claims 8th and 9th gen are not affected. I'm probably leaning towards they are affected, and so is the hackers that released the exploit or released the info for the exploit, because we all know it's basically just Skylake X at this point. There's nothing really new about the architecture.
Right.
14 nanometer plus.
Mm-hmm.
So the architecture hasn't changed. The instruction sets haven't changed. Nothing's really changed. They're handling the data the same way. They just got a little bit. They got 150 extra megahertz out of it. It's like, woohoo. So how they're handling the data hasn't changed. It's probably going to be the same exploit. Now, Microsoft, Apple, and the Linux Foundation have already announced
They got patches.
that they have patches out.
Yep.
However, that doesn't fully patch the issue and the security vulnerability. The only way to completely eliminate the vulnerability is to disable hyperthreading.
Yes.
So that's simultaneous multithreading, as AMD calls it in the industry standard is, or hyperthreading for Intel. That is 2 execution cores for every processing core that you have, which means I can handle 2 chunks of data at once instead of just one.
One core, yeah.
On a single core. And what that means is that's about 40% boost in performance on that chip.
Right. And if you disable that, you're losing that performance boost.
You're losing the multitasking ability. You're losing a lot of that performance. Watch your Cinebench score be cut by 60%.
Taking a dump.
Right. And
you can turn it back on if you don't mind people spying on your Cinebench score.
Right. But that is really the only way to make sure that your data won't be spied on. Apple has gone as far and released instructions on how to disable hyperthreading to fully protect your Mac from ZombieLoad, but warned doing so could decrease performance by up to 40%. So it's rare that Apple is giving you low-level access to hardware to tell you what code you need to modify to disable a hardware feature. Apple doesn't do that. That's just not in their DNA. So every Intel processor from 2011, including the Halem, is back as 2008. So it does not affect the Core 2 line at all, the Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad line. Yes. But it does affect the
Core 2 is still relevant.
But it does affect essentially everything that's Core I.
Yeah.
So everything that's been
the i7s,
since
i5s,
the i7, the original 920 on x58, and then through all the processors up to pretty much modern day.
Downgrade to Core 2 Duos.
Yep. Good evening to you two. 6 a.m. in Germany. Good morning.
Good dag. Good dag på dig. I just remember that from
what?
From what was it?
I was going to say
producers.
Okay.
Producers. Yeah.
I was going to say good morning. What are you drinking this morning?
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. But then Steve had to go and butcher it. So.
Yeah.
So, ZombieLoad. There will be a performance hit if you have to disable hyperthreading, depending on how security conscious you are. I will say I run essentially Sandy Bridge CPUs inside of my server. I do have an i3 or i3 8100 inside of my file server. I'm not terribly worried because I'm not exposing any of that data to the outside world. I don't have any services that are broadcasting externally. So in my house, I'm fine. We do have at my workplace some data centers that are externally facing, and we've been running pfSense virtualized inside of a Hyper-V environment. Mm-hmm. We are moving those over to Epic servers.
wow. So you're going to do upgrade to Epics.
We're moving a good chunk of our data center over to Epic servers. So
you don't have to worry about this.
That's going to be anything security based in our data centers going to a couple of Epic servers, as well as our pfSense virtualized boxes. So mostly our external facing, and then a couple internal security ones that we need to keep an eye on.
Sounds like a walk in the park.
Yep, internal web apps that we run and things like that. But definitely a real threat, but not so much if you're a home user. I wouldn't worry about this too much if you're a home user. The flaw exists, but it doesn't exist any more than CryptoLocker or any other
ones,
thing that exists in the last 10 years does. Best practices will always be your best case for a home user.
Yeah.
So no one's trying to hack your home systems. That really doesn't happen.
No one wants to see your porn history.
That's right. Well, yours
maybe. Really, they don't want to see
yours maybe.
They don't.
But yours is weird.
Oh, well, yeah, I kind of go to the... Okay. It involves Jell-O and...
Those weird horse hats.
Yes, it does. So you've been exploiting my PC, haven't you?
VNC at 60 FPS.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. So, what else we got? First ever 1 terabyte micro SD card. Now available. Now, we did mention this last week, I think maybe 1 week or 2 weeks ago, that there was a 512 gigabyte micro SD card available for $100 on Amazon from SanDisk. Well, SanDisk has now announced that they have a 1 terabyte on the market. It's $450.
Yes.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
But...
And the thing is you can get the 500 gigabit one, half size, for $200.
Right.
So you can essentially get two of them, have the same for a little bit less than what this one is right now.
Yeah. I mean, there we go. A freaking terabyte.
That size.
Can
you believe that?
I know you all know what a micro SD card is, but I don't care. That's the scale.
Yeah.
That's a micro SD card.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's well, especially when you grew up in a I remember having like a giant Ep.081 drive. Mm-hmm. That wasn't even a gig.
Right.
It was like the size of a brick.
Right. I had the dual 5.25 bay drive that was like 8 megabytes.
Yes.
And that was like the best one you could get.
Yes.
And I think that thing was like $600.
Yeah. It's insane.
When it was new. The largest 5.25 drive I've ever seen was 8 gigabytes, and that was actually much later on in their life.
Yeah.
And those things were massive platters, man.
They were huge.
Yeah. Well, 5.25 inches.
Yeah. They're big.
Makes sense now that you think about it. But yeah, just massive amount of storage in such a tiny space. If you're ever curious on what's faster, broadband Ethernet or SneakerNet. So how much data can a jumbo jet carry versus how much data can a fiber pipeline carry? XKCD does a great breakdown on that. Basically, how many micro SD cards can you fit into a jumbo jet versus how much data can you transfer over the international fiber line that's ran across the Atlantic?
Oh, yeah. Well, with 1 terabyte drives, that just increased quite a bit.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it doubled the capacity.
Yes, it did.
And I think he did his original thing on like 32 gigabyte drives or micro SDs.
Well, okay, because I saw that comic.
Yeah,
but you're not counting to the fact that in order you can transfer data from the airport, you put them all in a jumbo jet, you fly them over, but you have to put that data from one place to another.
And the latency is terrible.
Well, okay, the latency is terrible. We're not going to ping this thing. We're just talking pure data transfer, right?
Ping by carrier pigeon.
But someone has someone has to swap those little tiny drives in and out of the reader and copy it to whatever.
Right.
That takes an assload of time too. So I don't know if he took that into account.
It didn't. He was simply talking about how much data you can move from one place to another.
Yes, right. No, I know that, and I've in my business. There's a lot of times where it was because we used to have our colo for a lot of our data hosting services about maybe 10 miles away from our office.
Yeah,
and sometimes the data was so massive it was easier just to drive it down there. We just drive it down there. It's like it's quicker than trying to transfer it.
We had one remote office at one point in my tenure. Actually, most of my remote offices when I took over as the network admin my current company, they were all T1s, and they were all over the western part of the state. And I would have to drive around to them, and we only had T1, so it was 1.5 meg down. The best office that I had was a shotgun pair of T1, so we had 3 megs.
Right.
But only 1.5 from one source.
Right.
So I would ping our server twice and get 2 streams going at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it was always this thing about, do I carry a 40 gigabyte external drive in my car with me, or do I start the download at home the night before and then drive down there? Right.
Yeah.
Usually the 40 gig drive won.
Well,
now
yeah.
I'm ended up sitting there for an hour copying those 40 gigs over.
Right.
But it was still better than
it ended up being like almost close enough.
6-1, half a dozen other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I flirted with that line a number of times. Now we own a crap ton of fiber, and we have gigabit everywhere, and
transferring that.
Sorry, we originally put in gig, then we upgraded to 10, and then we found out a couple of our lines are capable of 40, so we did 40.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. New beer. I'm almost there. Yeah, let's intro the new beer.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do? The Norwegian, or you want to do the chocolate?
Let's do the Norwegian.
Okay.
We'll
I don't have one.
We got some stout glasses up there.
All right. Let's stop.
While I'm finishing mine.
Yeah. All right.
That might be the longest silence ever on Talking Heads when there hasn't been a technical issue. I was just drinking a beer.
Oh yeah, just chugging it. Swallowing a bunch of acid.
A lot of acid. The flavor didn't die down as much as I had feared for a hazy.
Right.
But the last couple drinks, I won't say were my favorite I've ever had.
The initial sip was great.
The initial sip was amazing.
It was very good.
And that one was better halfway through the drink than a lot of hazies that I have. Okay. It was a much more enjoyable beer than I expected out of a hazy. But still has a lot of the same problems that I've ran into. So this is a Imperial Stout from Grimstad, Norway. I don't know the name of it, and I'm not going to try to repeat it because it was terrible.
Oh, you got it?
You can get it.
I get it.
Ooh.
I don't trust your pour. It smells good.
Man. Yes, it smells good. Tape drives were great for backups.
What?
Yep.
What the hell, dude?
Oh, whoa. Is that only... Oh, sorry. I thought it was a full bomber.
No, is it?
No, it's a 1.
Oh, yeah. 1.9.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, that's better. Ooh, that does smell good.
Yeah.
That smells really good.
That is way more malty than I expected.
A lot of good chocolate notes in there.
Yeah. Super rich dark chocolate is what I'm getting right on the nose. Maybe a little butterscotch in there as well.
Oh, that's thick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this kind of reminds me a little bit of like a thicker version of Deschutes Obsidian Stout.
Yeah, actually.
It kind of does.
A little heavier ABV.
A little heavier ABV, like a little thicker.
Yeah, because the Obsidian's about a 6.5 or a 7. It's not a heavy stout.
Yeah, it's not a heavy stout at all.
Yeah.
It's like if you took the Obsidian Stout and maybe doubled it.
Yep.
This is kind of what it tastes like.
Heyo from Milwaukee. Go Bucks. We'll see you in about 6 games.
Let's hope so.
I hope so. Honestly, I want to play Toronto. I think that'd be a really fun matchup. As a Blazers fan.
Blazers and Raptors.
I'm not going to be disappointed if we see the Bucks because, hey, we made the finals for the first time since 92.
Yeah.
But good luck to Milwaukee, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Great to see Giannis doing good things over there, and Lopez too. I really like watching Lopez play. Good to see him moving on from his time over at Brooklyn. So, yeah, enough sports talk. Otherwise, I'm going to lose half my audience. No. Golden State. Oh, come on.
Oh,
Golden State.
No one likes Golden State. Come on.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I really liked Steph Curry in like 2012 because he was kind of like what Damian Lillard has been fighting, and he's been like, oh, small market. I know it's San Francisco or Oakland, but small market. No one likes you. You're only a point guard on kind of like a weak team and whatnot. And they just kept building and developing that team, and it's the same core. It's the same Klay Thompson, Danny Green moving up, and that core has just been amazing for them, and they won a title. and then they brought in KD and they won 2 more. And so it's just been awesome. But
you don't want them to win.
The problem is I can't hate Golden State either. I can't. They play the right way. I don't like Green necessarily because he's the guy that kind of gets under my skin. But at the same time, if he played for my team, I'd freaking love him.
Yeah.
And Golden State is full of those. They've got Livingston's kind of that way where I don't like him, but it's only because he's on the other team.
I only watch basketball when it's like this, like we get in the semifinals, the final, or getting close to finals.
Yeah,
then I'll watch it.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge NBA fan and I'm a huge football fan, so I watch a lot of college.
I do follow football.
Watch a lot of college, watch a lot of NBA or NFL, and then NBA is my other.
Not really too much NBA.
Yep. Yeah, and NBA is kind of like my second love. Like I really like basketball. I really like football.
I like football too.
So that's enough playoff talk.
Yep.
But hope to see Milwaukee in the finals.
Yes.
All right. There it is. Finish your beer. I didn't mean it.
No, I was taking a sip because you were talking. I'm like, I got to get this in before.
You didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. We had one more.
Mm-hmm.
One more story.
One more tech thing.
So Google, if you've ever used any of their Titan security keys, which were their NFC-enabled Bluetooth keys. For basically like two-factor physical authentication is what a lot of people use them for. They're pretty much recalling all of them.
The first and second design that they put out, there's a security flaw, but if you read the article, it's a very specific security flaw. You have to be within Bluetooth range, so within a couple feet, and you have to also time it to pair with the device at the same time.
It's a very narrow flaw.
Very, very narrow. But, I mean, they say if someone really wanted to keep trying, they could eventually probably do it.
Right. So you have to be within 30 feet, you have to be within Bluetooth range, and you have to know the device is going to come online.
Right. And you also have to know, you still have to know the person's security username and password.
Right. So while this isn't going to be exploited in the wild, this isn't going to be exploited as like someone...
Right.
You have an NFC tag on your laptop and you carry this key with you to make sure you can authenticate with your laptop. This is something that would be exploited in an office building.
Yes. It can't be like you're just walking through Starbucks and someone exploit it.
Right. Yeah. By a faux elevator repair guy that is there to do penetration testing.
This is like corporate espionage level type stuff.
Yes.
This is
corporate espionage or pen testing or something very similar where this is an office building, this is a controlled environment where they use this to authenticate that you are physically there.
Yep.
Someone could steal that information and then recreate it later on inside that same building is kind of what this is designed for. Portland won't take game 2 if they can't find a way to stop Steph with his open threes. Go back and look at 2 of the games that Portland won in the regular series. We let Steph take the open 3. What we didn't let them do is drive into the lane and then kick out and get other players involved. We know Steph is going to kill us. Why double up Steph and then turn it into a 4-on-3 offensively? That doesn't make any sense. No one has been able to guard Steph. Steph was double teamed against the Rockets, and he went up for 33 in the second half of Game 6. So double teaming him, it doesn't matter. He's still going to get his points. What you don't want is everyone else to get their points. You need to stop the offense there. And in the games that we played, that's how it worked. Portland just outshot Golden State and ended up winning the game. And pretty decisively because they forced a couple turnovers. And they didn't let anyone else score. So even Klay Thompson, in our last game, I think Curry scored, I think, 32. Thompson scored 12. And then no one else scored anything else, and Blazers ran away with it. So Steph's going to get his. It's stopping everyone else from getting theirs. That's what you need to stop. And we also need to get a couple other players involved in the offense. Maybe have Turner on point and run Damian off the ball a little bit more. Get him some open looks. Get him some driving opportunities.
I agree with everything you said.
Exactly. Like I said, if you get me talking basketball, I will talk all freaking night.
I know those names.
Yeah.
I seen them on the jerseys.
Yep.
But
got to limit Klay and Green, and that's exactly what I agree with. We got to limit Klay and Green. Steph is going to get his. Don't bother doubling because he's going to take the open 3 anyway, whether it's an open 3 or contested 3, and he's still going to freaking make it. So we have to get Dame some up and looks. We have to get him off ball a little bit. Get CJ on some drives. So I expect a lot of Evan Turner. I expect a lot more of possibly
Curly Joe.
Curry the Lesser.
Curry the Lesser.
Seth Curry coming off a lot more off-ball screens. And a lot more Zach Collins rather than Cantor. Cantor's been great for us, but I expect a lot more Zach Collins and possibly a Jake Layman sighting in Game 2. That's what I expect.
Me too.
Yep.
Me too.
Yep. Kraft, haven't seen a live stream in months. Happy to see this one. Thanks, Colton.
Oh, yeah. Glad you can come.
Welcome aboard. All right, now we're going to get into some games and entertainment news. I think it's all entertainment news.
I think it's all entertainment. I don't think there's too much game news. I think there was... I don't know if there's any real prominent news. There was another crowd-funded game that was lost to an Epic. Yeah, but it's like,
who cares?
I don't want to.
Yeah,
go
I'm not giving them any more press time.
Depressing news.
Yep. Disney takes over controlling stake in Hulu.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, you probably know, but Disney recently bought Fox, and Fox had a controlling stake in Hulu. Or Fox owned something like 40% of Hulu, and the Disney owned like 10 or 15%, something like that.
No, I think they actually owned 40, and then Comcast owned 60, or I can't remember.
Comcast owned 33.
Okay,
Comcast owned 33.
But then Comcast is selling their 33% to Disney, and so Disney is basically taking complete control over it.
Right. So basically, Comcast had the controlling stake. Disney bought up all the rest of the controlling stake. So Disney owns 66%, Comcast owns 33% at this point. So what's going to happen is Comcast has agreed to sell the rest of their stake by 2024 because they have a 5-year contract left that they can play the rest of their content.
But effective immediately, Disney's taken over.
Right.
Yeah.
Disney takes over day-to-day operations starting today.
Yeah.
So Comcast and NBC content will still be on Hulu through 2024, and Comcast will be forced to sell the rest of their shares, valued at least $27.5 billion.
Well, that's actually probably pretty good for Comcast because they get to haul into those shares.
Yeah.
Disney gets to pump up the value of those shares, and then they're going to just reap a bunch of profits.
Comcast is reportedly guaranteed to make at least a reported $5.8 billion from the reported sale of their sharehold.
They're gonna make a bunch of money.
Fox, AT&T, Comcast, Disney, and that's right. Yeah. So I knew Fox owned a portion. Comcast owned the controlling portion that they owned 33%, which was the largest majority. So not necessarily a controlling stake, but the largest stake. And then it was Fox, AT&T, and Disney that owned the rest. Disney owned like 12%, AT&T owned 15% or something like that. Disney's bought up the rest. So Disney owns 66% of the company at this point. So interesting to see what this comes of.
Well, right away they're going to do a package thing where you can get Hulu and then Disney Plus.
Right.
Because I think was it Disney? They announced Disney Plus was going to be like it wasn't going to be expensive, like maybe $7 a month or something like that.
I thought it was 10
or
$8.
I think it was listed somewhere in here.
$7.99, something like that.
It looked $7. $7 per month.
$6.99. Okay.
Yeah, $6.99. So if they get a package where it's like $15, you get Hulu thrown in there, you get Disney Plus,
or
12, even that. They're immediately competing directly with
Netflix. Right.
Yeah.
Netflix and Amazon.
And Amazon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because they're going to bring not only their huge Disney library, their whole back library, all the new Star Wars features, the new Marvel features.
If you get Disney Plus, do you also get ESPN streaming?
That I don't know because it does come with it. They might package that as well.
Because that might be worth it.
Well, they might do a staged package. You know,
right.
Once these companies start buying up these streaming services,
honestly, for $20 a month, I would spend $20 a month for ESPN, for ABC, for Disney, and for Hulu.
Here's the thing that's kind of depressing a little bit.
Just
a little bit. The main thing people started cutting the cord is to get away from cable, where like, oh look, we got these packages with these different channels and stuff like that. I can just, I can pick what I want to watch. Now we have these companies buying up all the streaming services, and they're turning them basically into packaged cable channels.
Right.
So you're going to start pretty soon. You're going to if I want everything,
it's going to be $80.
It's going to be $80. It's like you're paying cable prices anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But at least you get it. I mean, at least you get it on demand. You can stream whatever you want whenever you want it.
Yeah, and that's been the end game of all this: is the cable company or the content creators are still going to get theirs. Disney is still going to get what they want. ESPN's still going to get what they want. NBC's still going to get what they want. It's just what media are they going to deliver it on?
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before with my... I had PlayStation Vue for quite a while. I had bounced between DirecTV and Dish Network for a while. And finally got tired of that whole song and dance. And I signed up for a Dish package that was supposed to be $90, no questions asked, no contract, that included equipment, and I was done. It's $90 a month, guaranteed. And lo and behold, after 2 years, I was paying $130 a month.
Yes.
Because they'd raise it $5 every 3 months.
Couple, yeah.
And it's like, well, whoa. I was promised $90 for life. And they said, well, there's some new governmental fees, and there's this and there's that. And I went, well, can you quote the government regulation that charges you those fees? Because I don't see any new taxes on my...
Yeah.
And finally it hit like maybe 115 or 120. And I'm done. Cancel. I'm out. I'm cutting the cord. I'm done. Yep. And at that time, PlayStation Vue had come out, and it was $35 a month. And I got ESPN, and I got Discovery, and I got HGTV, and I got a couple other things that I watch.
Yeah, just this.
And it's like $35. I'll pay that for TV. Yeah. And all of a sudden, that was $60 a month, and it's like, I'm out. I'm done playing this damn game.
Yeah, and this is what it's quickly approaching to.
Yeah.
Where it's you're gonna get you get all these packaged stuff, and then they'll just start raising the price.
So yeah, I'll pay money for content, but I'm not gonna play this nickel and dime me up the ladder until all of a sudden I'm paying $100 a month for 90% of things that I don't watch. I'm okay paying Disney $8 a month for ESPN or $10 a month for Disney Plus or whatnot, because I will actively use those. My problem is when it's $100 a month and 90% of that of the subscription I don't use. So this might be good in the end. It's going to hurt a lot of people in the end, and it's certainly going to hurt the little channels that are around only because Disney exists.
Right.
This is going to benefit Viacom and CBS and Disney and ABC and things like that. And it's going to hurt Hallmark Channel, and it's going to hurt this, and it's going to hurt that.
Well, I mean, come on, Hallmark Channel.
How will Oprah Winfrey Network survive?
Yeah, I know.
Well, maybe Oprah Winfrey Network should be dead.
Yeah.
Adam wants to know what we're drinking. Adam, you should have been watching earlier if you wanted to know what we're drinking.
Oh,
your neighbor, Adam.
Oh, okay. We're drinking a Norwegian Imperial Stout.
Yep.
So this is a 9%.
9%.
9 Imperial Stout. I think I described it earlier as being Obsidian Stout times 2. Mm-hmm. That's what it tastes like.
Very earthy.
Very earthy, yeah.
Yeah. If I had to put something to it. But Jeff, you're in the USA, and you know your company's cough, Verizon cough. How much do you bet that Disney won't nickel and dime you?
If you've ever gone to a Disney park, you know that they will.
Disney is going to charge about as much as they possibly can. Yeah. I understand that fully, but at the same time, Disney knows markets. They know markets better than anyone else, and they know they need to be competitive within a marketplace.
Yeah.
And so if everyone else is giving away CBS All Access for $12 and they had Hulu for $8 or $9, and Netflix is $12, and Amazon Prime is $10, and this and that, they're not going to come out of the gate and charge you $70 for only Disney-owned services. No. They're going to come out and they're going to put a competitive package together for maybe $7 to $10 a piece for each component.
$7 for Disney Plus.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's a pretty good deal. Okay, they got their new shows coming out, but on top of that, you have their whole backlog of movies and cartoons.
Yep, and Disney Channel original movies and cartoons,
all that type of stuff. So you get all.
So
that
as
stuff.
A parent, Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, exactly. like any adult with kids.
$7? Are you kidding me?
For infinite entertainment.
Right.
Boom! Right there. There you go.
Disney will hook you at $6.99 and eventually go up to $12 and higher.
I don't doubt that a bit.
And I fully understand that. I think as long as Disney Plus and all of their related services stay $20 and below, they're going to be competitive in the marketplace because CBS can't charge $20.
Yeah.
And Amazon Prime can't charge $20. And Netflix certainly can't charge $20 because everyone else is pulled out.
Right, yeah. Their biggest draws have pretty much, they're starting to leak out.
Exactly. And so, while yes, they are going to charge eventually more than $7, I think $12 is probably a fair price to pay for for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And then if you want a package deal, other things, so maybe $12 for Disney Plus and $12 for the ESPN family of networks, and maybe 16 together.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm in.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
I'm in.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to do with PlayStation View. Really is.
They kept creeping it up.
They kept creeping it up. Yep. And they eventually priced me out of the market. Because I only watched like 5 channels on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same thing why I stopped paying for cable.
Yep.
Like, there's like maybe 5-6 channels that I watched. Why am I paying for 100 of them?
Right. That's exactly it. Rick and Morty!
Yes.
Rick and Morty is back!
It was speculated that was going to take an extra year.
Yep.
But
November!
Coming back in November.
Yep. November 2019. This year. We are coming back this year.
Morty. We're coming back, Morty.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I do a better Rick than I do a Morty. I will say that.
Yeah, I think I have more of a. I can do a more gravelly voice.
Yeah.
Although it does the same guy does the same.
Yeah,
Dan Harmon.
Yeah. No, it's not Dan Harmon.
The other guy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick. Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah. Justin Roiland does both Rick and Morty. Yeah, Dan Harmon's Birdman.
No.
Bird person.
Bird person.
Yeah, bird person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bird, like I think you're talking Harvey Birdman.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, bird person.
Bird person.
My bad.
Yes, bird person. Not Birdman. Like Harvey Birdman. No, that's somebody else.
Yep. No, I'm super stoked for Rick and Morty season 4.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for it to come out.
Yeah. Me too. I like them.
Yes.
I like that show.
There's
very good.
There's an entire subreddit called Falling Asleep to Futurama. Did you know about that?
I did not, but I can relate to that.
Yeah, totally. So in our bedroom, we have a 40-inch TV, and every night, both of us, we will decide what inane cartoon we want to watch.
Because you can fall asleep to
and
it,
we'll set a sleep timer. We'll set it for like 90 minutes, and there it goes.
Yep.
And just that little bit of background noise and that little bit.
Yep.
I fall asleep, and I fall asleep very well. And we rotate through a lot of the Seth MacFarlane ones. Mm-hmm. So we do American Dad or Family Guy.
Yep.
I have Cleveland Show, but that's really kind of we don't do that one very much. Yeah,
I don't blame you for that.
The bear annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, I know.
We do Futurama.
Yep.
And that's actually where we started was Futurama, and then we kind of evolved into the others because eventually it's like I know every Futurama episode.
I know.
By heart.
I've watched it so much.
Even the new ones, and I hate those.
I don't hate the new ones so much, actually.
I hate the new ones more.
I don't hate them. I just don't enjoy them as much as the originals.
I'll say this. With Family Guy and American Dad, they hit a certain peak, and they hit the peak at different times. I think Family Guy hit at season 3. Season 3 was amazing. Yes. And then season 4, they knew that the censors weren't watching anymore, and they could do whatever the heck they wanted. And they went way over the top, and it became not so much clever, but it became crude.
Yeah.
And South Park hit this at certain times. And South Park went full circle and came back to clever.
They came back to clever, yes.
It's still crude, but it's still really clever.
Very clever, yes.
And Family Guy has its moments still, but it's still
not, yeah.
It's still just stupid humor anymore. Whereas seasons 2 and 3 of Family Guy were amazingly good. Futurama, the first half of the first season was like,
Yeah.
Like I don't like watching this. I don't like watching the pilot where we're landing on the moon.
Yeah. Oh no, that was the second episode.
Yeah, that was episode 2. I hate that episode. Yeah. And then they really didn't miss again until like the Honkening.
Yeah, that wasn't my favorite.
That wasn't a good episode.
Yeah, that wasn't an episode.
And then there was
there was a brilliant part in that episode where they had the ghosts and they had like the Windows logo was haunting them.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, okay. So there were funny parts, but the whole concept of that episode was stupid. And then there's there were a couple others that just weren't great either. But for the most part, Futurama was great from season 0.5 through season 6. Yeah. Then there were the movies, which were amazingly good as well, which were the 4-episode seasons.
Yeah.
And then there was season 7 that started in full, and it took a step back. And it took a step back to me because the character quality went down. The characters didn't stay in their lanes anymore. Zoidberg wasn't Zoidberg anymore. He was John Zoidberg, and I'm gonna cut the pizza and whatnot. It's like that's not Zoidberg's character. Yeah. And Bender wasn't his character anymore, and Fry wasn't his character anymore, and Amy was all of a sudden smart about some things but really stupid about others, instead of just being stupid and superfluous, right? And it just kind of went through this thing. It didn't fall off as bad because there's still some amazingly good episodes in there.
Yeah.
There's Fry getting to talk to his mom.
Yeah.
That was such a good episode. There's the Forwards Time Machine where they go.
That was good. Yeah,
to the year 1 million,
and it circles back.
Yeah. That was such a good episode.
That was a good episode.
But then there's episodes like the Butterfly MMA.
Yeah, that one was dumb.
And so there weren't as many highs, and there were so many more deep lows that was like that episode's unwatchable. Like I can't stand that episode.
Yeah.
And American Dad did this too, where all the way through like season 6 or 7, they were really, really good every single episode. And then they started dropping off, and anymore the characters are no longer in their lanes anymore. They're just whoever they want to be at whatever random time, whatever punchline meets the joke.
Yeah.
Any character will say it, even if it doesn't fit that character, and that just drives me nuts.
Yeah. It makes you think that maybe they just have like different writers doing their own interpretation of what they want.
Well, the difference is the creators stopped being involved in it.
Right.
So as soon as Seth MacFarlane stepped away from a project,
people are like, I'll take it over and do what I want.
And as soon as he's only reading the lines, the shows go to crap.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
And so in his, they're very, very pronounced.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, Seth MacFarlane wrote this episode or co-wrote this episode.
Which makes sense because he's probably more involved in the oral right now.
Right.
Obviously, you can tell because it's a good show right now.
Right. That's why American Dad's got better faster and stayed good longer.
Yeah,
because he was more involved. But all of a sudden he went to A Million Ways to Die in the West. He started making movies,
and that was horrible though.
Yeah,
I didn't like him.
It was. Yeah. But that was like season 9 of American Dad when he went and did that. And by season 8, you could tell he was no longer involved.
Yeah.
He was doing the voice of Stan and Roger, and that was about it.
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything.
So
except voicing.
Yeah. So. But yeah, we leave the TV on to fall asleep, I guess is the long way of saying that.
No. I know what you're saying, because I have the same thing, too. I have, on my Plex, I have my, I call it the Adult Swim channel, my Adult Swim list.
Yeah.
Because I pack it with a lot of Adult Swim things.
Right.
But there's other stuff in there. I have Archer in there. I have South Park in there.
Yeah, Archer's another one we do.
I even have some Mr. Bean smattered in there a little bit. Dude, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just sit there and I'll put it on random, and I'll like watch it until I fall asleep.
I will do South Park when it's just me, if the wife's away on a trip or something like that, because my wife cannot stand South Park. Really? I love it. I love South Park.
My wife likes South Park.
Yeah, my wife can't stand South Park.
Yeah, she likes South Park.
She can't stand it. Now I don't like some of the middle seasons, like season 4 through like 8.
Yeah,
they did the same thing the Family Guy did.
Yeah,
they went straight to crude.
They didn't seem to have a real direction.
Right, and it was just
once they started really developing South Park, when they first started developing their production cycle.
Yes,
where they can be very reactive to what is happening right now.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
The on point reactionary topical humor.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so their wheelhouse.
Yeah, like something happened a couple days ago,
and 10 days later they've got an episode out.
About it. Yeah,
right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and so that's when I really fell in love, and that was right about season 8, I want to say.
Yeah,
they really started developing that, and so many good erodes. So and really no lulls since that point. They're all just great. But so yeah, South Park's in my rotation. Archer's in my rotation.
Yeah, I have Archer in mine. Harmon Quest.
Yeah. I don't know
if you watched that
you
one.
turned me on to that.
Yeah.
Yep. I watched that one now too. So it's on my Plex.
I think season 3 is supposed to come out of Harmon Quest too.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty soon.
Well, yeah, he should be done shooting season 4 by now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, so he's gonna be
Phoenix person. Is that what we're going with?
What about King of the Hill? I like King of the Hill too. That's.
I'm not as big of a fan. I don't think I have it on Plex, but it is enjoyable.
Yeah, actually,
God dang it, Bobby.
Because he did Beavis and Butthead, right?
Yeah.
Office Space.
Mm-hmm. I forgot he did Office Space.
He did Office Space.
Yeah.
He's got another one called, and I watched a couple. There's 2 seasons of it, and it's pretty enjoyable too if you like watching history and stuff like that. Where it's called Tales from the Tour Bus.
Yes.
Where he did a whole season on country music, where he goes and he interviews people about a particular country singer and they did all these country things, and it's all most of it's animated. In fact, it's all animated. Mm-hmm. And that guy that did the next season 2 was hip hop, or no, it was funk. It was funk, big funk. And it's interesting because it's all Mike Judge.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there talking about music, and that's entertaining. It's not the same humor, obviously. It seems like he always tries to reinvent himself with every next series. Because Beavis and Butthead is completely different from King of the Hill, which is completely different from Office Space, which is completely different from Idiocracy, which is completely different from
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, they're all like, let's go do something completely different.
Yeah, they're so random. Yeah.
He took the Monty Python now for something completely different, literally.
Reverend says he specifically loved the John effing Zoidberg. Also, Amy was shown to be a genius under her ditziness in the old episodes. I liked Amy when she was just a ditz and was working there just like,
because she's been an intern in college forever.
Right, exactly.
She's not smart enough.
And so I loved that about her personality. I didn't like when she started developing sophistication because it didn't fit her character. I liked the clone episode or the alternate universe episode where she's sitting with her imaginary friend.
Yeah.
I'm not imaginary. I'm parallel.
Yeah.
And is that yellow nail polish?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Is that not yellow nail polish?
Mike Judge also does Silicon Valley. Which
that's
is
right.
Excellent. Silicon Valley's excellent.
Yeah, so she's
hot swappable dicks.
Yeah. So Pink Amy is sitting on the couch putting on yellow nail polish, and Yellow Amy is sitting on the couch putting on pink nail polish, and they're arguing about that. And she goes, "Professor was right. You are evil and shallow. I am not evil." So great.
Yeah.
That's Amy's character to me. Is that Amy right there?
Well, maybe they wanted to do character development. It just fell flat. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can tell when younger writers and less experienced writers get involved because it becomes more about the jokes that the writer is writing and not about the characters that have been fleshed out and developed.
Yeah.
And they stop developing Leela and Amy and Fry and the professor, and they stop using their tendencies to the advantage of the jokes and rather just use them as a platform to tell their jokes.
Yeah.
And that's when these series all go downhill. And all of them do it.
And they couldn't even make interesting stories around a lot of them either.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the Inadagata Leela, the very first episode back where Zap... Honestly, that had some funny moments, and it's like, okay, this might have some potential. Yeah. Because Zap is an amazing character in that one.
Zap does his own thing, where it's like... Wait, well, he kind of...
Where did you find water? Promise you won't be mad. You were asleep, and I laid this tree on top of you. Then I ate the trail mix and the mineral water out of the ship. So it started at a pretty high. Yeah. I'm not loving this, but it's good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And but the anime style Futurama, the 4 different art variations that they did, that was a terribly written episode. The gender swap, I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
They went through so many lows, and don't get me started on interdimensional drift.
Oh, where they had
Farnsworth, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
That was just bad. That should have never made the air. IT Crowd. Loved IT Crowd.
Great. They put it out on Netflix, and I watched it all again.
Yep.
That was great.
I have a confession for IT Crowd. So I found IT Crowd after it had gone off the air.
Oh, really?
I just wasn't aware of it when it was in production. And I found it. I found someone had posted an episode on YouTube, and I loved it, and I wanted to watch the whole thing. And so I immediately just started looking for where to buy it. Can I buy a DVD set of it? And I looked on Amazon, and they were all $40 per season.
Oh yeah,
and it's well, it's 6 episodes. I'm not going to pay $300 to buy the series. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I looked on some other places. I looked on eBay, and I looked on I'm like, I can't find it.
Pirate.
I'm just going to torrent it. I found it on iTunes for $6 a season.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could have just bought the dang thing and owned it outright. Instead, I pirated it. And so I ended up buying the whole thing on iTunes just to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
Because I hate pirating media. If it's not available, I'll do it. I feel bad about it, but I'll do it. But yeah, I have a lot of DVD box sets. So when I say I own South Park, I literally have the DVD box sets in my closet there. They're loaded onto Plex, but I rip those myself.
You rip them all yourself.
Right.
But you have the DVD. You have the physical copy.
I have the physical copy. I like to be above bar or above board when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So that's why there's 2 CD drives and 1 Blu-ray drive.
Rip them all you want.
Yep. Yeah, my VM server has 3 disk drives in it. So I can
So you can rip them-
I can
just
load
open them?
DVDs in and rip them off.
Yep.
So anyway, Rick and Morty season 4, November.
Coming back November.
This year, November.
This year, November.
This November, Morty.
Because they were
Can you
saying-
believe it, Morty?
they
We're
were
coming
saying-
back this year.
Oh, gee, Rick. That's... I can't do... I can do...
Oh, geez, Rick.
I can do Rick better than Morty.
You seem more of a bird person.
Let me see.
It has been quite a
It
while.
has been quite a while. My plumes are great and plentiful. Because he kind of has an almost like Shatner-esque
Yes.
delivery
Yeah.
to his thing. Well, he's based off of the Buck Rogers guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a bird person. I don't remember his name in Buck Rogers, but they had looked just like the Buck Rogers guy.
It has been a dry season for a bird person.
Yeah. He cannot get any.
LOL, Steve, do the bird. That's your wife.
Okay. Thanks.
I read the comment first. The fact that it's Angie just makes it that much better. Hi, Angie. Okay. We had 2 more quick articles. I didn't put this one in your notes, did I? Yes, I did.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, we did. This
Yeah.
one.
I don't think you read it because I added this
I did
like
not
on
read
your
this,
way
yeah.
over. So Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is getting a sequel. The 1989 film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. This
Yeah.
is surprising.
This came out, I think, earlier today. But yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is getting an official sequel.
Okay.
Whether or not Rick Moranis will be involved, I don't know.
He is supposedly starting to get back into acting.
He's been on Broadway a couple times.
Yeah.
He's done a couple shows. He's
Right.
done a couple TV appearances.
yeah.
So there's talk okay, his feet are wet now.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe he'll get back in.
Rick Moranis will come
It'd
back
be
in.
nice.
I would love to see Dark Helmet revisited.
Yes. Okay.
The search for more money. Mel Brooks is still alive.
How old is Mel Brooks,
Make
though?
it happen.
How old is Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks is like 88.
I know. He's up there.
Yeah. I don't
is a-
care. The man is still funny.
I know. He is still funny. We need another Mel Brooks film.
We do need another Mel Brooks. I want one more before he
The
passes.
last one he did was the remake of Producers, wasn't it?
Yes.
And that was back in 12? 012? Oh, wait,
Was it that late?
2012? When was the because Producers was like one of his first films. And then
Yeah.
He did it with Matthew Broderick and what's his face? What do we got? So Blazing Saddles, obviously.
Robots in 2005. He was involved in with Robin Williams.
Okay, that's 2005.
Get Smart, Little Rascals.
No, I'm talking not involved in. I'm talking like
Right.
a Mel
Like
Brooks,
produced, directed.
and everything.
Produced, directed,
No, wait,
written.
no, go back up. He's 92, dude.
92.
He's 92.
Yeah.
He ain't doing anything.
The dude needs to.
He's not gonna. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sad, and I'd
Yeah.
like that, and he's done so many good movies.
I wish Max Brooks was funnier than he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Because he deserves to be.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
I love World War Z. I love Max Brooks's books. And in fact, I thought World War Z, the movie, was pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though it was kind of met with kind of a meh
Yeah, it was kind of
reaction.
reaction, yeah.
I thought it was good in that it set up the world of World War Z without
Yeah.
taking on one of the storylines. I thought it was great. Yeah, Mel Brooks, 92.
yeah. Dude, guys.
Anyway, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is coming back
With Josh Gad.
with Josh Gad.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of him, I guess.
Right.
I mean, I've seen a couple movies he was in. I wasn't particularly impressed, but
Right. But this is supposedly going to be set in real time. It's going to be set 30 years later, so 2009.
okay.
Excuse me, it's 2019, as if no time has passed. So Wayne is still up in the attic doing crazy stuff, and Josh is going to be one of his kids who was shrunk down, and doing his own crazy stuff at this point. And apparently, the working title for it is just called Shrunk.
Okay.
So, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
1989 classic coming back.
All right. Well, that's Hollywood is bereft of ideas, so they got to rehash the old ones.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we haven't seen any kind of Honey I Shrunk movie since '97, and the last time it was, and they had a TV show too, and that ended in 2000.
I never saw the TV show.
Yeah,
but I know
it was on Disney Channel for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I remember the 2 movies.
Yep. Yeah, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein.
Oh, yes. All so good. So many Mel Brooks.
History of the World Part 1.
Yes.
Quote me a better movie.
Yeah. Come on, dude. History of Part 1. Okay. As far as Mel Brooks movies go, it's maybe 5th down or something like that, but it's still a good one.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
No, okay, come on. We got... You want to compare History of the World to Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles 1.
Okay.
Blazing Saddles 1.
Okay, History of the World. Okay, Young Frankenstein is better, definitely.
Ooh, no, I got History of the World above Young Frankenstein.
Really, you think so?
I do.
I actually like the original producers with Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder.
Yeah,
I like it better than the remake, way more.
That's a tough call.
No,
that's a tough call.
No, that's one of my all-time favorites.
Ooh.
I have that on DVD and I still break it out every once in a while to watch it.
Ooh, put it up to chat. Producers or History of the World, a better movie?
I like Producers better than... It's got more nuance to it.
It does, and I think the downside to History of the World is it wasn't one cohesive story.
It was
four snippets.
Maybe the reason why I didn't like History of the World as much is because it felt like a sketch show. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like a movie. And they did have funny parts, and I really liked it. But
it was the best produced sketch show. It was the SNL digital short compared to SNL.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but also at the same time, there's a lot of sketch movies. Like Kentucky Fried Movie was coming up at the same time. Right. All those other ones. But and it was good. I liked it. But I think I liked Blazing Saddles. Spaceballs was better.
What a show!
Young Frankenstein.
Here we go.
No, I liked it. I'm gonna put maybe 4th. I'll put it 4th.
History. 5 in a row.
That's because they're a bunch of Philistines.
Now we'll work on their knees.
I like History of the World. It's just one step below. That's all.
Where does Spaceballs fit on all that?
I put it below Blazing Saddles. Just right.
Yes. Yeah. My hierarchy is Blazing Saddles 1 because it is so historically funny. Yeah. I will say. Yeah. It played on a lot of the things that were really taboo at the time, like racial humor and things like that. The sheriff's what? That was so.
It was good. It's still funny, yeah.
Out there at the time that it was produced. I've got to give that nod to them for producing that and making it enjoyable. Yeah. And it holds up today. And where I knock producers is I feel producers doesn't entirely hold up today. Whereas Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, and History all hold up today as shows. I would watch them right now.
Well, okay. I wouldn't say that. I can kind of get what you're saying with producers.
Yeah. I feel the other 3 are absolutely
because there's a lot of campy gay humor in there, which doesn't really translate nowadays.
Right.
But then, of course, if you look at History of the World, there's also a lot of stoner humor that really doesn't hold up that well.
Kind of.
Yeah.
There's bits and pieces, but I wouldn't say it's a cornerstone of the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with producers. I mean, that wasn't...
Right.
You can't take the Nazi humor in there. That's pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. I'm not saying Producers is a bad movie. I'm just saying History of the World is probably above it in my book.
I like Producers.
And we're arguing personal taste.
I know, it is. It is personal taste. But to be fair, Producers did win an Academy Award, whereas History of the World did not.
In a really weak year.
It didn't win Best Picture. I think it won Original Screenplay or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it won on the Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, it won something. It was like Best Sound Design or something like that.
Right.
It's on that level. Yeah. Oh,
we won an Oscar.
Someone's asking what my shirt logo is.
Yeah. There you go.
Jeff knows. He couldn't figure it out.
I couldn't place it at the time, and I'm really disgusted with myself looking back because I noted before we started we both wore black shirts with single logo, single color things on them. So mine is obviously alternate universe Star Trek link.
Yeah.
The only good thing I've ever gotten from Wish.com.
But mine is, if you can guess it, then I don't know. Well,
Yep.
I don't know. We'll say your name online. I don't know what we'll do. Can you guess it? I don't know. Yep, there's some
Tribes Diamond Loaf. Yep, there you go.
Got it right away.
Tribes. Yep.
Tribes.
I should have known that because I did play Tribes a little bit back in the day.
I played Tribes a lot.
I wasn't heavy into it.
I love
because we're talking like 97 for the first one.
Star Siege Tribes was my jam for like a year.
Yeah. I played with a buddy of mine for maybe about 3 months or so. And then it kind of fell out of favor because we were into some other games at that time. We played a lot of Jedi Knight.
Yes.
Dark Forces 2.
Those at the same time, too, yeah.
With the Masasi Temple modifications to that. So they had some like Modern Warfare total conversion packages for it. Those were amazing. So think of like Modern Warfare 2, but Jedi Knight for the game engine.
Yeah.
It was great. Replaced all your guns with like AK-47 sniper rifles and actual grenades, and it was great.
Because that was still a great game and good level design altogether.
Yes.
So it was fun no matter what kind of mod you put on there.
So we played Tribes for a little while, but then we kind of migrated over to that.
Yeah.
Because that was a 98 game, I think.
Yeah. It was a little bit newer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Trek I knew. Got a Microtech 10 gig switch. Excellent.
Nice. I should probably upgrade my in-house networking too. Mine's getting a little old.
A little long.
Yeah. Well, maybe once I do my PC upgrade, I'll start working on the network.
Yep. Boy, the peanut butter on this.
I know. This peanut butter on this thing is really heavy. A lot heavier than I thought.
Yeah, it smells like opening a can of roasted peanuts.
Yeah. It's very nutty when you smell it.
Very nutty. Very nutty flavor. I haven't even tasted it yet.
I was kind of surprised because we went and looked this up on Untappd before the show started. And like one guy comments like, I can't taste the peanut butter.
How can you not?
I was like, how can you not taste the
I
peanut butter?
could smell it when he was pouring it over there.
This is like ridiculous. This is one of the heaviest peanut butter porters I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's good. I like
this
it.
is like a peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
That's the level of like chocolate
peanut-y.
and peanut that it has to it.
It definitely has a dark chocolate stouty
Super
aftertaste.
dark. Super dark.
But up front, you smell the peanuts.
Yeah.
You taste the chocolate, and then it's like this dark chocolate roastiness in the back end.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it.
I'm digging it. But yeah, peanut butter parfait is the closest thing that I can say. That's what this tastes like without the vanilla.
Without the vanilla ice cream. Yeah.
This is the like super dark fudge.
Hot fudge. Yeah, dark like a dark fudge with peanuts in there.
Yeah.
Roasted peanuts.
So good. Very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, peanut butter brews they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do right though.
Yeah. What's the one in Bend that does the Nutbuster?
Oh, Wild Ride.
Wild Ride. Yeah, the elephant. The big elephant.
The big elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have probably the best peanut butter one.
I actually just had that on Nitro.
Yeah.
And it's even better because it has that creamy texture. So it tastes peanut buttery.
Where did you get that on Nitro?
It was in a tap house in Independence. So a bit of a drive from here, but
I might have to go there.
Yeah.
You have piqued my interest, sir. Yeah, because that's one of my favorite peanut butter or peanut inspired brews, and I've had that on the show before. I've had that on a live show, and I've had that as a featured beer on a video. It is just a great all around brew, and it's local, so local-ish. And I know the guy that delivers the kegs for that one, so
less. Yeah,
less.
They named a beer after him.
They did. Less is more.
Less is more. Yeah.
The less is more ale.
Yeah.
Good beer too.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
It was.
Yeah.
So, Les, if you're listening.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I know you have one of my business cards, Les. You better be freaking listening to my show. Les actually gave me my first ever free beer for this channel.
Really?
Yep.
He just handed it to you.
Yep. I told him I was starting a YouTube channel, and we're looking at getting a live show going, and we're looking for sponsors for the beer. And he had his van parked outside, his beer ambulance parked outside. And he goes, follow me. And he walks out and hands me like 4 6-packs.
Yeah.
He just like breaks off a bunch of individual cans and hooks them up. And so, yeah, the first like 2 months of beer on this channel were brought to you by Les.
Yeah. No, Les is a good guy.
Yeah. So, super good guy. Point Blank Distributing.
Yes.
Is who he works for. Yeah. And they distribute Wild Ride here in the Valley.
Do you guys think that Zen 2 will run a 5 gigahertz?
I think so. I'm going to go on record that I think yes.
Based on that chart that we saw, I think that it would.
The rumored chart has stuck around long enough to make me think that at least one of the chips will be capable of about 4.8. I'm not going to necessarily say 5 gigahertz. I think that might be... But maybe. However, some of the chips that are coming out now are hitting 4.3 at turbo, and I've seen overclocks in the wild at 4.5. I don't think 5 gigahertz is that much of a stretch.
It could happen.
So it very well could happen. Whether or not it comes from factory, I don't know, and that's really the big to-do right now. I think it's going to come damn close.
Yeah, the boost clock was, 4.7, and that's on the engineering.
Right.
And that's not too far away. And they
3700X.
Yeah.
5 gigahertz turbo.
Oh, there it is. 5 gigahertz turbo. It's right there. Yeah, the 3700X.
So, and this leak has been persistent from... here, I'm going to throw up the slide real quick.
There we go.
This leak has been persistent for a number of months now. And when I first saw it, I shot it down. But we keep seeing leaked products that are so very close to these leaked specs.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing one leak benchmark a week that is that much closer to that number. Have I seen a processor running at 5 gigahertz on Zen 3000? No. But I keep seeing the 12 core at 3.4, and I keep seeing the 8 core at 4.3, and I keep seeing the base clock numbers reported in benchmark suites all over, which doesn't tell you the boost clock typically in a benchmark suite. No. All it does is tell you what the rated clock speed is and what it's running at inside the OS. I think we're going to be darn close. I would be shocked if we did not achieve 4.8. I would be shocked.
Yeah.
Because I think AMD needs to come out with a competitive product, and I think they have one. Yeah. I think they have.
This list right here is really what got me super excited about Zen 2.
Especially because they came out with a stock 8-core 16-thread chip that went toe-to-toe with a stock 8-core 16-thread 9900K at CES and beat it.
Yeah.
That's why I think we're going to hit these numbers. I think we're going to hit 4.8, and I think 4.8 is even enough to beat an 8700 or 9900K.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say 8700K. It's been 9900K for 6 months.
Yeah.
I think 4.8 is good enough to beat a 9900K at 8-core 16-thread, and they have a reported 16-core 32-thread coming out at close to 5 gigahertz.
Oh, yeah. We'll hit that. We're getting...
I think we're at a turning point. I think AMD is going to take a major...
We're going to get that 5 gigahertz at 7 nanometers.
Especially if the price points come true.
Oh.
You undercut by half.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're within 5%. You freaking win.
You're going to get that. You're going to get that. So you're already winning the price of performance.
Right.
You're already winning that.
Yeah, if you come in 8-core 16-thread and you're within like 3% of a 9900K overclocked...
It doesn't matter.
You win.
It doesn't matter.
You win by default.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.7 is going to stomp Intel at 5 once you account for IPC increases. We don't know what the specific IPC increases are going to be, but I would say it's going to be somewhere around that mark. About 4.7, 4.8 is going to be competitive with Intel at 5 gigahertz. I don't know if it'll beat it in everything, but you'll be talking about it. So that's what I'm going to say. Whether or not they actually hit 5 gigahertz, I don't think matters. What I think matters is they're close enough that you're within the margin of error.
Yeah.
So,
if you get within the plus or minus,
90% of 9900Ks can overclock to 4.8 on all cores. Yeah. You need to hit that you need to hit that level of performance with whatever the 3800X is.
Yeah.
Or with whatever the 3700X is, an 8-core 16-thread. You need to match it, and you need to completely kill them in price. And I think both those are realistically possible.
All right.
Cool.
10:04. Do we want?
You said all right that time.
I can say all right.
I can say it. All right.
It's you that can't say it.
All right.
I wish I could do his whole monologue from True Detectives where he's sitting there cutting up the beer cans. This isn't a big circle. We got making it a big. I don't know how he does it.
Just go Matthew McConaughey from Tiptoes.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. The dialogue's much simpler.
Hey, we're drinking the same beer. Oh, my wife's been drinking too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will take the plunge if Ryzen 2 is legit. I remain skeptical until I see, and I think that's the right approach.
No, I mean, I say I'm excited, and I'm in the market for an upgrade CPU.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it day one.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for benchmarks.
Yep.
I'm going to wait at least 2 months afterwards to see if there's any real technical issues, technical problems.
Yep.
And then I'll probably buy it.
Yep.
Because by that time, it's probably getting close to November, and we're going to have like Black Friday sales and all kinds of stuff.
I say this as someone who has zero contact with AMD. I do not have an AMD rep that I call. I don't have anyone that I deal with over there. I have a couple of industry contacts, but they don't really have CPU connections. So I think, and this is just me spitballing with about as much information as you guys have, AMD is going to announce Zen 2, Ryzen 3000, at Computex, and it will be released about 3 weeks later. That's what I think. I think this is going to be a mid-June release. I think it's going to be like June 20th. And I've said that before. What I think will happen is by about June 7th, we will have review samples in hand. And I may or may not have a source for review samples. I'm still kind of working on that.
You may or may not.
But I'm hoping to have release day coverage of Zen 2 here on Craft Computing. So we'll know. As a reviewer for Craft Computing, you'll know.
Yeah, I'll know.
But none of you will know until June 21st.
Yeah.
Or June 20th, or whenever that happens to be. So, Angie, take your shirt off. All right, all right, all right. All right, Angie.
She just wants to wash it.
And then John, no, leave it on. Suddenly this became a family affair.
Yeah.
And I think that's about as good a place as any to
my
end
gosh,
it.
all right.
Before Steve actually takes his shirt off. I don't need to be demonetized.
No.
I've already seen too much.
My nipples are huge.
Too much.
My
You got those pepperoni nips?
My nipples explode with excitement.
Yep. And so goes the family show.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on episode 81 of Talking Heads, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Pretty good beer tonight.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
I did enjoy
most of it. Yeah.
I was hoping to enjoy this more. It's still really good.
Like I said, I enjoyed this.
But I would have split a pint with you.
Yeah. I think we split it would be.
I would have split a pint. This was surprisingly good.
Yes.
The Norwegian beer. And then this is one of the best peanut butter
I have
stouts,
to say yes.
peanut butter porters I've ever had.
One of the best. I made a really good peanut butter porter myself. This is actually pretty on par with that. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Not to toot your own horn, but
no, I mean it was
legitimately good.
Legitimately good.
Yeah.
It was one of the beers that I made that was like gone within weeks.
Yeah.
Because everybody kept coming over and drinking it.
Because I love mixing cocktails, and I'm like, well, I can make really good cocktails.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that I say, this is legitimately a good cocktail. You could serve this anywhere.
Yes.
And yeah. So.
Yeah. No, and this is like on par with that. So definitely really good.
Cool. So yeah, I understand that metric. So. Patreon, only $1 gets you lots of stuff. Mainly what it gets you is access to chat with myself and the other host from Talking Heads, whether it's Steve, John, or Rhett.
Yep.
Pretty much any time of day because we don't sleep a whole lot.
No, but we also have like a lot of, like we were saying before, we have a lot of Norwegian people, so they're up all 24 hours.
They're up all night,
Yeah.
and so I'm usually up till 2 a.m. chatting, and then Steve wakes up about 6 and he's back up.
Sometimes I sleep in. I don't know. It depends.
Yep. So yeah. Check video description for the link to the Patreon. Gets you access to the Discord. You can chat with me, ask me questions, ask Steve questions. We have a whole bunch of different groups over there. We've got channels for general tech talk. We've got channels for engineering and overclocking. We've got maker spaces for 3D printing and maker kind of stuff.
We got gaming channels. We got sports channels.
We've got car chat.
Channels. We got just general shitposting.
Yeah,
I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
If you want to.
And it's all Star Trek themed.
Yeah. It's
So-
all the rooms are Star Trek themed except the Talking Heads one.
Yeah.
That's the one that's not Star Trek.
Right. I couldn't think of a good category to call Talking Heads.
Yeah.
But we have a food and beverage, so we share what we're drinking, what we're eating. There's a lot of foodies, a lot of good beer guys.
TV channel or TV movies.
Yep.
All kinds.
Yep. So please join the and there's the hiccups. Yeah, thank you. Talking hiccups. Yep. Thank you.
Yes, the talking hiccups.
For the regular viewers of this show. I held it off until after 10 o'clock. Give me a break. So yeah, join the Patreon, get on the Discord, join the chat. It's a great group of people over there. I was about to say guys, but there's girls too.
Yeah.
And good ones.
Oh yeah.
Fun ones to talk to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining episode 81. We'll see you next week.
And I'll see you like in a month.
In about a month.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're scheduled sometime in June.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be around.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.